Hey guys, AJ here back with another one for you guys. What's going on? What is going on? Guys, I hope all is good, right? I hope you had a good 4th of July because I know I did, guys, right? You know what I'm saying? You guys, here we are today as we're going to talk about divorce, Guys, we'll also have a live about for all you military guys here soon. Either maybe Thursday or Sunday, right? I'll let you guys know. Let me just check one more thing real fast. 1 second. Okay. Let me see. Guys, here. Any of you guys that have divorce stories, guys, click the link. Right? Because I know some of you guys have them. I was going to do Discord members first, but I think there's some of you guys that have reached out to me that actually don't have Discords. So, guys, feel free to click on the link, but we'll just do divorce stories first, right? And then anyone else that has any other topics or anything, we'll talk about that. So, guys, if you have a crazy divorce story, please click on the link. And you guys don't have to go into too much detail, right? You don't have to use names or anything, but you can, if you want to, also drop the link. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So guys, wrong screen. Are we here? Okay, since I have Korg as my co-host, guys, let's drop some news. That never gets old, dude. Here we go, guys.
All right, welcome back. I'm Austin Westfall. Let's switch gears here. Young people graduating from college this spring and summer are facing one of the toughest job markets in more than a decade. The Associated Press says that the unemployment rate for degree holders ages 22 to 27 has reached its highest level in a dozen years, excluding the COVID pandemic year. Joblessness.
Let's see. Keyshawn, what's up, dude? Scott's here. Anand's here. Tim Hicks is here. Lenny's here. Space is here. Kelvin, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Tin Man's here. Remixer's here. What's up, man?
Among that group is now higher than the overall unemployment rate, and the AP says that gap is larger than it has been in more than 3 decades. Jason Altmaier is a former congressman from Pennsylvania and the CEO of Career Education Colleges and Universities. He's here. Thanks for coming on. Is there some sort of larger culprit at hand here? Why are young people facing a harsh job market?
Well, I think what that article was talking about.
Hey, Korg. You know why they're saying young people? Why they're specifically using the word people?
Because they're not robots?
Because they don't want to say young women, right?
I didn't think about that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Look at that.
Well, it's hard to get a degree get a job when you've got a master's in underwater lesbian astrology.
Underwater lesbian archaeology, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anytime that it's men, they always say men. Anytime that it's women, they say people or graduates or something else. You know what I'm saying?
Are young people with a 4-year college degree, and for a very long time, that has been the preferred path in higher education. Parents, guidance counselors, society generally tried to direct everyone into a 4-year degree, and somehow going into a career program, a certificate program, something less than a 4-year liberal arts degree was somehow a substandard path. Well, thankfully, we're not at that point anymore. And there's very high job growth and job opportunity in the skilled trades, in many of the healthcare programs, in programs like computer science, and certainly cybersecurity is a very fast growing program. And
yeah, but guys, once again, what is the issue with a lot of cybersecurity, guys? Right? A lot of cybersecurity is one of the fields, guys.
That's a good field to get into.
So here's what the top level, the basic entry level, and like lower part of cybersecurity, AI can do.
Sure.
If you're looking through like scripts for like threats and all that other stuff, all the entry here, all the parts of cybersecurity that chicks do, that women do, Skynet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But did you notice that if you think back to when I was talking in the show we did last week about guys, and I said guys have a plan for your finances?
Yes.
That's the same problem with all these people going to college. They don't have a plan.
Not at all.
What do you intend to do when you complete college? And that's the thing I can't stress enough to you young guys out there is it's fine to go to college, but what's your plan after you graduate?
Yeah, you want to be in. Well, here's the thing: it's just postmodernism, right?
Mm-hmm.
We went from postmodernism, where all the old political systems and all the old I figured postmodernism was Korg's dad was a cop, and Korg's granddad was a cop. Korg, you should have the mindset to where you can be a lawyer.
Exactly.
You're not stuck in this way of thinking anymore, like the old school systems like that are gone. Now we live in postmodernism where they think that applies to everything. Mm-hmm. That sex isn't real, gender isn't real, math isn't real. We can just make our own reality, right?
How do you feel about that?
Yes. Yep. Guys, you want to? So what they told people is that you can go to college and major in anything and make money. You should be able to make money with a outer space astrology dream catcher degree. It's not happening. It's not. Guys, anyone that didn't have a paid internship is wasting their time in college, period. Period. Steve.
There's not enough value given to just getting an associate's. Just get your basics out of the way and you can figure out what you want to build on from there.
But the thing is, a friend of mine makes $200,000 a year. He has an associate's in IT.
I was in the same boat. I had a girlfriend who was livid that I was still working on my associates. She had a master's, but she was pissed because I was making more money than she was.
A friend of mine's he's an engineer. Mm-hmm. And his wife majored in freaking environmental, some lesbian studies, and she's mad that his wife is mad that he's making more money. Mm-hmm. Well, guys, they're going to be divorced soon. Let's see, Rajai was what's up, man? Oh, Steve, what's up, dude?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Rajai's here. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. 2000s guys here. OSSR, what's up, dude? Let me see. Spacious, thanks for the $6.99, man. He says what I've seen is So from what I've seen is that what you are good at before school is likely to your strength afterwards. Knuckleheads, the stupid can't fix that. Facts. That's true. That's very, 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 very true. Yeah, thanks for the $6.99, man. Appreciate that.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
Let me see. Okay, so here we go.
When you talk about the skilled trades, if you look at welding, truck driving, the healthcare programs, including nursing, those are very high growth professions, fast growing, and students are finally being told, hey, if you want to get a job, if you want to have a life sustaining career, a family sustaining wage, the trades are the place to go. So yeah. I think you're seeing a change in society and the understanding that if your purpose in higher education is to find work and do well for yourself, going into the trades is not a bad idea.
Hey, you guys want to
the uncertain?
Say again?
You guys want to make bank as a welder? get certified as an underwater welder.
Yeah.
You will, oh my God. And it's been that way for 35 years. The underwater welders make a grip of money.
That's true.
Economic.
Come on, guys, there's this one. Let's see if we can go through it. Here, I'll have to speed this up. Sorry, guys. Let's do this. Turn these subtitles off. Let's do this. Oh, the Young Turks. I'm not going to give them any views. Jerks. Worthless. Here we go.
The unemployment rate for new college grads has recently surged, and some economists say businesses are now replacing entry-level jobs with artificial intelligence. Here's CBS's Ali Bauman.
22-year-old Michael Macaluso just earned his degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Connecticut.
Okay.
But this summer, he's back helping manage his hometown pool. He hasn't found a job in his field despite applying for nearly 200 positions.
That's his own fault. You're a mechanical engineer. You can't find a job?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Looking?
Huh?
Where's he looking?
Not in the wrong places. What are you talking about? Look at that, dude. He's trying to say that he can't find a job, and he's an engineer.
I think one mistake a lot of people are making is they're only applying to like your Fortune 500s, when actually you'll make more money at a smaller company.
Yeah. Look at that.
Did you have any expectations about what the job market would be like when you graduated?
I was told by a lot of people that I was going to get a job right out of college. And then all of a sudden, there's no jobs.
New research finds now, for the first time ever, the unemployment rate among recent college graduates has exceeded the national unemployment rate, ballooning to 6.6% over the past 12 months. Oxford Economics' Matthew Martin.
This kind of goes against what you would expect. Those with higher educational attainment usually have better employment prospects than those with less educational attainment.
Martin's team believes companies are eliminating formative entry-level jobs, the work handed over to artificial intelligence. Tech companies are leading the way.
AI is permeating every aspect of our lives.
Nariman Farvardin, the president of Stevens Institute of Technology, says his school has been preparing for the AI revolution for the last 10 years. He expects disruption throughout the workforce will be bigger than the disturbance brought on by the introduction of the internet, and it could last up to 15 years.
I think AI has the potential to either augment or maybe totally replace jobs that are physically or cognitively repetitive. These jobs are not only done by entry people. There are certain people who do repetitive things for all of their life. Those jobs are in jeopardy.
Kaylee Potlin just graduated from Stevens with her computer science degree. She did an internship with Verizon as a sophomore, and the company has now hired her.
I think something that's important with entry-level jobs is the networking and the opportunities that you make from it.
Farvardin says his message to students to
guys, if you can't find a job with a degree in mechanical engineering, guys, that's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the most sought after degrees on planet Earth. You're in the top like 2% of skilled people on planet Earth. What are you talking about? So, guys, that's something's wrong here. So the math ain't math in there. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. There's another one here, guys. Hold on.
There's also the opportunity of getting employed, in one of those foreign countries.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when Saudi Arabia was scooping up people left and right.
Even on the new King of the Hill reboot. Continuation. Hank Hill, he was in Saudi Arabia working with gas and propane accessories. You know what I mean? Hold on.
In the U.S.
Do this. There we go.
It's added more than 145,000 jobs last month, and the national unemployment rate dipped slightly to just over 4%, according to the latest U.S. jobs report.
Rock and Diesel, is AI actually cooking in engineers? Really? I mean, maybe lower level, maybe, but guys, like here, guys, if you have a sought after skill, guys, all you engineers, join the military. Be an officer. Join the Army Corps engineers. How about that? You know what I'm saying?
But the report also shows a rise in the number of people who've been out of work for more than 6 months.
Look at that.
And for many in the class of 2025, the outlook remains uncertain. 10 News reporter Omose Ighodaro is working for you to break down what the numbers mean for recent college grads.
For many in the class of 2025, the search for a job is already proving difficult. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the unemployment rate for new college grads rose to 5.8% as of March, up from 4.6% a year earlier. And even among those who have found work, the report found more than 40% are underemployed, working roles that don't require a college degree.
I've applied for a bunch of things, but I haven't heard back. A lot of the times it's just me applying online. I send in a resume and a cover letter, and then it'll be pending for months, but I won't hear a word. It's not feasible for a college student coming out to have 5 years of work experience in that field.
Adding to the pressure, in May, the Trump administration resumed collecting defaulted student loan payments, just as more graduates entered an already anxious job market.
As I'm paying for school and spending all my time, I'm thinking about the time I could have an internship.
Even more pressure comes as major employers like Chevron and PepsiCo say they're scaling back hiring for entry-level roles, according to a recent survey by the National Association of Colleges and Employers. Nicole Barnett, who graduated from Roanoke College in 2024, said even figuring out where to apply can be difficult.
Also hard to distinguish which jobs are legitimate, which ones are actually looking for individuals to employ. But there are also other aspects such as like AI that we haven't really had to worry about in the past.
For now, some grads are responding by adjusting.
Do you see her chest tattoo?
That's what I was going to say. If she's looking like that for an interview, no wonder nobody's not hiring her.
Now, guys, look at this, right? Check this out.
The stark symbol. It's a border fraught with tension. The wall separating Mexico and the United States stands as a stark symbol of America's new message. Migrants out.
The migrants. Illegals.
Far, far away from that steel wall, deep down in the south of Mexico, lies another frontier. One that barely feels like a border at all. Crossing the river Suchiate on a simple raft, you slip from Guatemala into Mexico. Traders, goods, migrants, everything and everyone moves freely. Or so it seems.
Hello, I'm Luis Garcia Villagran. It's the 3rd of April, 2025, and we're here on the banks of the river Suchiate. As you can see, things are very different from a few months ago when thousands of migrants were crossing this river daily. When Donald Trump came to power, we saw an immediate impact on migrant numbers.
Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Before, we had anywhere from 800 to 1,200 people crossing daily. Now it's barely 200.
Let's go. Look at that, guys. Look at that, guys. See? United States said, no more. Look at that, guys. They stopped coming, right? Look at that. Isn't it funny how that works? You put the fear of God in them and say, I wish you come over here. And all of a sudden, they stop. Isn't that funny how that works? Border policy is not going to work, Dad.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Morons.
For the past 15 years, Luis has defended migrants from around the world who enter Mexico from here.
These are the offices of the National Institute of Migration, where migrants come to register. They'd even bought their plane tickets to the U.S. Appointments approved.
As Donald Trump was being sworn in, the CBP One app was abruptly taken offline. This digital platform allowed migrants to begin their asylum application for the United States while in Mexico.
All these people got stuck here. Many already had appointments approved via CBP One. They'd even bought their plane tickets to the U.S.
Across the region, tens of thousands are now in limbo. For many, the only option is to stay in Mexico.
Have fun, Mexico. They're all yours. Corey, are you going to cry yourself to sleep tonight?
I'm going to try not to.
And you don't have a lawyer or anyone who can help you? All right, take my number. So you're thinking of staying here? It's a bureaucratic nightmare here. Nothing but red tape. The refugee office rejected your case? All right, I can help you. I'm an immigration lawyer. But if your case doesn't move forward, would you be ready to leave Tapachula on foot?
Oh no, my feet weren't made for that.
Morons. Now, guys, we'll do one last story and then we'll start talking about divorce. Hey, Korg, Steve M, DTM, all you guys, what do we know so far about all the schools in Baltimore?
Oof, I haven't been keeping current on that.
So, hold on.
All this week, we have shared with you our series Lessons in Betrayal, which detailed allegations from former students of grooming and teacher misconduct.
So here you go. So guys, they did like a study in, Steve, yep. In Baltimore, they at 28 schools, and none of them the kids could read. The kids couldn't read or do math. 28 schools. Cooked.
That's pathetic.
Cooked. Yep. And they're going to defend the CEO. And guys, guess what the CEO / superintendent of the school districts look like? Just guess. Corey, you want to throw a guess out there?
A petite redhead.
So you're not serious, are you?
Following a Fox 45 News investigation, Baltimore City Schools is now responding, touting what it sees as the accomplishments of CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises.
Yeah, but as Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, at first, city schools refused to provide any accomplishments for their CEO.
Guys, come on. We all know what this knucklehead looks like. Guys, Baltimore not taking accountability for the fact that the students can't read and it's a woman. Guys, come on. We all know what this person looks like.
Quickly changed after our report was published.
I'm tired of it.
Blanca Taparascu is not just the mother of a Baltimore City School student.
We're not buying it anymore.
She's a former City Schools employee.
Yes.
And former member of the Parent-Teacher Student Association at Mergenthaler High School, who believes city students are not receiving the education they deserve, despite what the district is now saying.
We're not buying the song and dance that we are on an uprise.
I could not be happier.
There it is. There it is, guys.
And what's she happy about?
Looking like a ladybug. What is this? What is this? Yeah, I don't know what she's happy about. Baltimore's one of the worst school districts on planet Earth, man.
On Monday, reported that Dr. Sonia Santelises had completed her 9th year as Baltimore City Public Schools CEO. For that report, we compared student achievement data from 2017, Dr. Santelises' first year as CEO, to 2024, and found many metrics, including attendance, SAT scores, dropout rates, chronic absenteeism, and federal test scores are worse now than when the CEO was first hired. But when we requested an interview with Dr. Santelises to discuss her main accomplishments, she declined.
Of course she did.
Her staff explained in a statement, it wouldn't feel right to start listing accomplishments while the mission continues.
Parents, teachers, and staff deserve to hear what actually is the truth. It's always going to be an oppositional because they do not want to be interviewed by someone who understands what the real issues are in this school system.
City Schools sent this email to Fox 45 News declining to list Dr. Santelises' accomplishments on Monday afternoon. Shortly after, that same day, we published our report on the topic. But then, hours after that, City Schools took to its website, posting this list of what it calls Dr. Santelises' accomplishments.
This ought to be special.
The post, entitled Project Baltimore Again Amidst Context About Outcomes in City Schools, appears on the district's Setting the Record Straight webpage. In the post, City Schools touts how under Dr. Santelises, English language arts proficiency has increased 5 percentage points since 2022, and math proficiency has increased 1.4 percentage points since 2023.
Look at that.
The post also mentions that chronic absenteeism has decreased 5.4 percentage points from last school year. The school system appears to be picking the data it wants to highlight.
Look at that.
Project Baltimore's report on Monday compared the district's data from when Dr. Santelises started the job to the most recent data available. The district's post only compares the last few years, not the CEO's entire tenure.
They have failed thousands and tens of thousands of students, and they don't want to admit that.
City Schools also posted this information on social media as an advertisement, which generally means money was placed behind the ad to boost its reach.
Damn.
So Project Baltimore emailed City Schools asking, how much money in total did the district use to promote this information on all social media platforms?
What a load of
The district
crap.
responded saying it paid $100.
There are no such things as failure as students. They're not failures, but a system can fail a person.
As Dr. Santelises heads into her 10th year as school CEO, do you believe her claims that the school system is improving? We want to hear from you. Call our hotline, send me an email, follow us on social media, head to foxbaltimore.com to follow our progress.
All right, guys,
I'm
here we
Chris
go.
Pabst, and this.
Here we go, guys. So I found this video. He's from a small. This is from a small content creator here, but let's just check this out.
Nobody tells young men this. Divorce isn't about love. It's about money. The moment you say I do, you're entering into a legal contract that can strip you of your income, your kids, your home, and it won't matter who is at fault. The family court system is also built to benefit women. Think that sounds like an exaggeration? Just wait. We're about to walk through some of the most ruthless, outrageous divorce cases ever documented. Real men, real losses, and not a single one got justice. These divorce horror stories will show you exactly why marriage has become the most dangerous contract a man can sign, and why, when it ends, there's only one rule. She leaves with the rewards, you stay with the wreckage. It started with a traffic stop. Carnell Alexander was driving home when police pulled him over. They ran his license. They gave him the news. There was a warrant out for his arrest. The charge? Unpaid child support. Carnell was confused. He didn't have any children, at least none he knew of. But that didn't matter. Years earlier, a woman had put his name down on welfare paperwork as the father of her child.
Look at that.
No DNA test, no court appearance, no signature. She did it to qualify for government benefits. Carnell was never told. He was never served, and he never had a chance to respond. By the time he found out, the state of Michigan had already locked him in as the legal father, and years of backdated payments were piling up. Eventually, a DNA proved what he'd said all along. He wasn't the father. Even the mother admitted he wasn't the father. But none of that mattered to the court, because under Michigan law, the deadline to challenge paternity had already passed.
Look at that,
So
guys.
the judge ruled against him, not because the facts were wrong, but because he didn't challenge the lie quickly enough. In the end, Carnell was still ordered to pay over $30,000 in child support.
Damn.
For a child that science and common sense said wasn't his. Think about what this means. A woman can name you, the system can label you, and unless you catch it early, you're locked in for life.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if she lied, It doesn't matter if science clears you. All that matters is that a man pays.
Good.
In most divorces, you split what you have. But in this one, he had to split what he didn't even have yet. A California software engineer went through a divorce after nearly a decade of marriage. He'd worked long hours, built equity in his company, and had unvested stock options set to pay out in the future. But when the divorce was finalized, the court ruled that those future options, even the ones that hadn't earned yet, were community property.
Damn, look at that.
That meant she got a share of something that didn't even exist at the time. Not a bonus, not a bank account, but his future. It didn't matter that those options were tied to future performance, or that they weren't guaranteed. The court said they were reasonably anticipated compensation. So now, every time he worked late, every time the company grew or earned a new milestone, she got paid too. She walked away from...
Look at that, guys.
That's the part that I think is, and a lot of guys will agree, that's overly ridiculous and stupid, is why the hell does she deserve to get the, quote, same level of living that she had while being married? You know, if she lost her job, she couldn't maintain the same level of quality of life that she had before. She'd have to go get a new job. So why is it when they decide, oh, I don't want to be married to you anymore, but I still have to have the same level of living? No, that's nonsense.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't. She has 10 fingers and 10 toes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You still got to pay for it. Guys, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Look at that.
From the marriage.
Guys, there's still these blue pill guys who see this. You got to sound like you hate women. We should all women. Yeah.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
But stayed financially attached to his success long after it ended. Think about what that sets up. You build something, she leaves, and the court lets her profit from your success for years after she has gone. Everyone knows who Jeff Bezos is, founder of Amazon, one of the richest men in the world. But when he divorced his wife, Mackenzie Scott, in 2019, she walked away with 25% of their Amazon stock, worth about $38 billion. No scandal or betrayal, no reason beyond the fact that their marriage ended. Now, yes, she was there during the early years. Yes, she supported him, but she didn't take the risk. She didn't scale the business. She wasn't the one running Amazon. Yet, when it was over, the court said that being present during the rise was enough to entitle her to billions. She didn't have to stay or build anything. She just had to be there and then walk. What does that tell you? You can create something from the ground up. You can sacrifice, push, and bleed to build it.
And get
But
cut.
the moment it ends, the person who didn't build it can still walk away with more than most men will earn in a lifetime.
Look at that.
Because in the eyes of the law, standing next to the builder is enough to get paid. Meet the man who was a U.S. Army soldier. He was deployed overseas on active duty. While he was gone, his wife filed for divorce.
Look at that.
Without his knowledge, she emptied their joint accounts, filed for full custody of the kids, and petitioned for alimony.
This happens all the time, doesn't it, guys?
I saw that a lot.
Corey, you were in the military, right?
Yep.
Hey, you want to give us a little bit of background there?
I'll just say that I was haze gray and underway.
Man. Guys, this happens to these young guys all the time, dude.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
You know, they'll come home and everything's gone. Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. Or even then. Well, all right, Corey, what do you think is worse? The guy who comes home and all the stuff is gone, or the guy that comes home and the wife is pregnant? He thinks that the timetable's a little bit off, but doesn't think anything of it, and then he ends up raising a bastard kid for years.
Oh yeah, it's easily.
Which one do you think is worse? Yeah, option B. Yeah, I'd rather have her leave and screw him up front than screw him over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Exactly.
You know,
and then she'll divorce him anyway, and then he's stuck paying child support.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
By the time he returned home, it was already in motion. Temporary orders had been granted. She had the house, she had the kids, and the court backed it all. His deployment, his service to his country was used against him. Because he wasn't physically present, the judge ruled that she had been the primary caregiver.
Damn.
So she got the kids, and he was ordered to pay her monthly support. He didn't abandon his family. He was fulfilling his duty. But that didn't matter. He went to war for his country while she went to court for his assets. That's what marriage looks like now. A contract she can exit whenever it benefits her most. Some divorce stories are outrageous. Others are so common they don't even shock people anymore. And that's what makes them dangerous. This is one of the most normal and most quietly devastating ways men lose their children.
It's true.
By doing exactly what society told them to do. Work hard, provide, sacrifice. He had a full-time job. His wife stayed home. And when the marriage ended, she claimed to be the primary caregiver. The court agreed. She got custody, he got visitation, and he was ordered to pay child support. It didn't matter that he supported the entire household or that he wanted equal time with his kids. All that mattered was that he wasn't home during the day. He was punished for being the provider, for doing the very thing that made family life possible. This isn't rare. It's not a glitch in the system. It is the system. And millions of men have no idea it's coming until it's too late. Take the case of a man who was ordered to pay lifetime alimony to his ex-wife. Not for 5 years, not until she got back on her feet, for life.
And that's
The amount
California,
was
guys.
based on what
California, Washington State, all those other states. You get cooked, man. You get cooked. Man, oh man, oh man.
he was earning at the time over $1 million a year. It was a heavy obligation, but he kept paying. Then came the downturn. His business took a hit. Clients left. His income dropped sharply. He went back to court, thinking the order would be adjusted.
Yeah, right.
After all, how can you keep paying what you no longer make? But the court didn't care. The alimony stayed exactly the same. Why? Because she had been accustomed to that standard of living, and the law said it was his job to maintain it, even if he couldn't maintain it for himself. He couldn't afford it and fell behind, and so he was jailed for non-payment. That's how the system works. Her lifestyle was locked in. His financial collapse wasn't even a factor. You can lose everything and still be expected to fund the life that she used to have.
Damn.
Consider what happened to a man who won the lottery. He had separated from his wife. They were living apart. The divorce wasn't finalized yet, but they were done. Then he hit the jackpot. He won millions. He thought the timing was clear. They were no longer together. She didn't help him buy the ticket. She wasn't part of his life when he won. But in court, none of that mattered. Because the divorce papers weren't officially signed, the winnings were considered marital property. The judge ruled that even though the relationship was over, and even though she had nothing to do with the win, she was still entitled to half. Just let that sink in. He got lucky once and unlucky in court after. In the eyes of the law, she didn't need to contribute. She just needed to be legally attached when the money arrived. Then there's the story of the man who supported his wife through medical school.
Damn.
He covered the tuition, paid the bills, took care of everything so she could focus on
Guys, don't ever do that. Guys, don't ever support them through school.
Yep.
Don't ever pay off their student loans. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. That's the dumbest thing that you can do, man. Sith Lord, what's up, man? Red Doors here, Heretic Friends, what's up, man?
Becoming a doctor.
Yeah, Heretic, you know what? You know, I mean, guys, there are a lot of stories of where, you know, chick files for divorce and screws the guy over, and he. Now, I'm not condoning it, but I'm saying I understand, guys. If there's one thing us guys do not like, it's not being in control of our own destiny and then being
betrayal.
Yes, betrayal. Because I don't want to say being treated unfairly, because, you know, fairness is subjective. But when we are betrayed and when we are wronged, like straight up wronged.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Guys snap.
Yeah. Because, guys, fairness and being wronged is two different things. If someone does you wrong, that's objective. If I break into Corey's house and rob him, that is wrong. Period. There's nothing subjective about that. Jessica, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
Show me the money!
Guys, I did drop the link for anyone who's coming up, man. So hit the StreamYard link.
It was supposed to be an investment in their future until she decided to end the marriage.
Of course she
right
did.
After she finished school. He thought he'd done the right thing, sacrificed for the long term, built something together. But when they divorced, the court didn't see it that way. Instead of recognizing what he contributed, the court awarded her even more. Because she had taken time off to study and wasn't earning during the marriage, he was ordered to compensate her further, even though he had already paid for the entire degree.
Cut!
Even though she would now go on to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars as a doctor. He paid for the education, then paid again for the fact that she had one. That's how the system views sacrifice. It's not remembered, it's penalized. Finally, there is Melissa Miller. She was married for less than 3 years. No kids, no business, no shared empire. And when it ended, the UK courts awarded her £5 million.
Damn.
Over 6.25 million US dollars. That works out to over $2 million per year invested into the marriage. That's all it took. This isn't rare, it's the model. According to wealth research, 67% of high net women attribute their wealth to divorce. They were not doing the building or investing, but instead they just left the man who did. Marriage used to be about loyalty. Now it's one of the fastest, easiest ways for a woman to get rich. The courts don't measure contribution, only how comfortable she got. Once she's in the lifestyle, you're expected to maintain it. Marriage is the only contract where one side gets rewarded for breaking it. That's why more men aren't walking away from marriage, they're running. If you found this video insightful,
there you go, guys. You guys look at this. You guys remember this story?
Man is behind bars tonight, charged with murdering his wife's divorce attorney and then setting his law office on fire. Lawrenceville police apprehended the suspect near the crime scene. That's where Fox 5's Deidre Dukes joins us now live. Deidre?
Wait. What is that Chris Rock says? I don't agree with him, but I understand.
Yeah. What I understand. Look at that. So Corey, this guy deleted his ex and the divorce attorney. You know that they were boning him. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, he snapped.
Few details today, but a family member tells Fox 5 that Doug Lewis, who was a family law attorney, was representing the suspect's wife in divorce proceedings, and also says that the attorney was killed because that suspect was upset about the case. A witness shared these images of suspect Alan Tay being detained near the scene. The man, who didn't want to appear on camera, told Fox 5 he spotted the flames coming from Doug Lewis's law office, saw the suspect walk out of the building, then leave the area on foot. Tay is behind bars, charged with arson and murder. Lawrenceville police detained the suspect after that witness called 911 to report the fire and then followed the suspect until police arrived.
Suspect that was detained had injuries that were consistent with being in or near the fire, and he had like burns on the pants and singed hair.
Gwinnett firefighters responded to a report of a fire at the business on the 100 block of Stone Mountain Street at around 5:30 Wednesday afternoon. Fire crews discovered Lewis's body inside the building after they'd put out the fire. Grieving loved ones gathered at the law office in Lawrenceville Thursday. Police have not released the victim's identity or confirmed reports that Tay shot him before allegedly setting the fire. But a family member tells Fox 5 the prominent attorney was murdered. Lawrenceville police recovered a weapon on scene.
Pistol was found on the suspect.
Let's see. There's another one here. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Give me a second.
Now at 6, friends and co-workers tonight remember Jade Nguyen. The plantation woman was shot and killed over the weekend.
Police have arrested her husband. He's in jail tonight on murder charges.
Man, homegirl on the right can get it. You know what I'm saying? How you doing? Look at that, guys.
Heck yes.
Look at that, man.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can suck start a leaf blower.
This was Carrie Codd is live in Plantation with the latest on this story. Carrie?
Well, Jim and Rudabeh, right now there's a celebration of life going on here at the Contour Day Spa where Jade Nguyen worked. She was beloved by the people here. I also just spoke with a very good friend of hers who told me that it took a lot of courage for Jade Nguyen to try and get a divorce from her husband, Brandon Ngo. The friend told me that Brandon Ngo had just signed the divorce papers a couple of days before Jade Nguyen was found dead in her apartment. Nail technician Jade Nguyen left an imprint on people's lives, like longtime client Dwight Witherspoon.
It's just a manicure and pedicure, and it will last about 3 hours because we would just laugh, share stories.
Others who knew the 27-year-old said Jade was a ball of positive energy.
She just had a priceless smile and a great energy about her.
She was more than a friend. She was like my family. And I love her very, very much.
A truly gentle, caring soul with like a light when she smiled.
That light went out late Friday night when Plantation police say Nguyen's reported ex-husband, Brandon Ngo, shot and killed her. Her longtime client and friend, Aileen Rodriguez, said Jade could not escape Ngo.
And she couldn't get away from him as much as she tried. She had restraining orders against him, and the system failed her. The system failed her. They let him go, and he went to the house and he shot her. And he killed her.
Her friends say laws need to be strengthened to protect victims of domestic.
Look at this. Here we go.
And I just can't imagine the other little girl they found like under the bed.
Watch this one, guys.
A 3-year-old girl alone under a bed not far from where her mom and 2 siblings were murdered.
Police saying the family patriarch, 30-year-old Austin Smith, killed them and shot 3 other people in a fit of rage and jealousy, telling investigators his religion allows it. We're still waiting for him to step in front of a judge.
ABC 15 in that neighborhood near 67th Avenue and Indian School all afternoon as we try to find out more about these 2 families torn apart.
Carla Navarrete beginning our team coverage outside the family's home.
Here we go.
Well, police came here to do a welfare check on Austin Smith's family, only to discover what they call a gruesome scene.
One of the investigators that I spoke to is a very seasoned investigator, and he said it's probably one of the worst scenes he's ever seen.
Around 8:15 last night is when Deja Patterson and her 2 daughters, Nasha and Mayan Smith, were found dead inside this apartment. The only survivor, a 3-year-old, found hiding under a bed. The suspect, Austin Smith, the family's father.
When I first moved in here 3 years ago, he came and introduced himself. Very, very friendly, like always. Hey, how are you? First started out with my husband, amigo, calling him friend.
But Deja and the girls, a completely different story.
Like I say, they were very reserved and very private.
This neighbor who didn't want to show her face says the oldest daughter, Mayan, often played outside with her mother.
Yeah, she was riding her bike with her training.
Kevin Murray, he says, how about strengthening laws that prevent men from getting divorced? I say, it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen until men walk away en masse. That's the only way things are ever going to change, guys. There's no going to...
It's also going to take baby steps, because I was thinking about this before the show. I want to say it was 79 or 81 when there was the first court case where a guy won palimony, and the feminists were livid that a man was getting paid for after getting divorced from his wife.
No, so that's still alimony.
Right.
Palimony is when you just live together for a couple of years.
Okay. But still, it was the first time a man was getting alimony from a divorce instead of the other way around. And then now we've got, the states very slowly, depending on what jurisdiction you're in, men are getting either 50-50 or they're getting custody of the, primary custody of children. And then you've got Florida recently passed those laws where they said no more lifetime alimony.
Yeah, but that's happening bit by bit. But
And it's going to be a battle of inches.
What I'm saying is that there doesn't even have to be a battle.
What's that statistic about all these women? They're going to be the 30 to 50 are going to be what? Tons of them are going to be single
by 2030. Yeah, men have to treat marriage like Bud Light or Gillette, right? Leave it alone. I'm telling you guys, this is the one thing. This is why I would say men minding their own business. That's the one thing that we haven't done. We've had men's rights activists for the last 40, 50, 70 years, right? We've had men say all this stuff. We've had guys, ultimately, just indifference, guys. Stay home. There's old Chevelle that needs your tender love and care. Play PlayStation. Work on your 40K models, and leave. Guys. Do what makes you happy. Focus on yourself, but don't play the game. That's the thing that scares them the most. Think of this, guys. Why is it that when women want to be alone, we don't care about them? Oh, we're feminists and we're going to separate from men. But then when men say we want to do our own thing, they think, oh, Korg is out in a cabin in the woods, fishing, hunting, working on his truck. He must be plotting something against us. He just wants to be left the hell alone. Women are so narcissistic and self-centered. They just can't imagine a world where men are just indifferent. We just don't care. And that's the strategy that's going to make us men win. Because guys, we're going to win anyways, right?
And women always talk about, there's all this online misogyny and all these men hate women. Men hating women isn't even the worst scenario. It's men being apathetic. It's when a woman can fall over in public and all the men just step right over her and keep walking. Hate requires some kind of care for a person or something. Apathy means you just women are just going to become invisible to men.
Yep. MMC USN said that if females, they were so strong, why did they get the majority share of the marriage property and funds, and they awarded the kids? Think of the craziest thing, MMC. They get the majority of the property, but if we were back in like the 1910s and 1860s, they couldn't even defend it. Think, guys, if Korg, Doug, and PA and I were on the prairie with our Winchesters, right? And there was a town where there was men and women, or there was just women with property. Who are we going to invade, right? We're going to take the women out. They can't defend their property.
Think about this. Let's say it's Little House on the Prairie, right? And it's you and your wife and your 4 kids, right? And there's literally 3 or 4 guys coming over the horizon on horses. Like, what would happen if the man's not there? The man would say, honey, get in the house, lock the door, and he'd stand on the doorstep with his Winchester and say, you guys come in here, you're going to get taken out. If there's no man there, what's the woman going to do? Nothing.
It's true. It's true.
Absolutely nothing. There's actually a story where in Atlanta, this white guy was posing as a flower delivery guy, and he'd have a big old bouquet. Of course, he had a white panel van. Anyway, but he would go up to the door and have the flowers covering his face and say flower delivery, and then the women, because he was going after B-dubs, and so they would open the door, and then he'd kick open the door and have his way with them. You know what I'm saying? And this guy did that to a couple of women because these women couldn't stop him. And all of a sudden, you know how bad Atlanta is. All these single women were trying to get their any man they could to live with them temporarily for protection. So their brothers, their fathers, uncles, and stuff.
Yeah,
because women can't stop men from doing anything.
Yeah. DTM. Hey man. That movie, The Woman King, was BS because the black chicks were the bad guys. They made the Europeans seem like the bad guys. Guys, the Europeans, they were the good guys in that movie. The tribe and the Woman King, they were the biggest slave traders there were. And the Europeans, the British had actually outlawed slavery and were trying to stop that tribe from selling slaves.
Yeah, the British Navy was doing a blockade.
Yeah,
to block all ships from coming in and out of their port. Yeah, 100%.
Ridiculous.
Wheels and her helmet.
And also,
and
AJ, when I speak to it, the reason why the king had a female guard was because so many of his men were getting taken out because the people, the tribes around them, they got tired of them slaving. So all the people around him combined and started taking out so many of his soldiers that he had to start having women soldiers. That's why.
Damn.
Would go down this little path.
Neighbors say Austin would often make reference to his religion, in some cases, praying outside.
But always stood out. Always stood out. He just had that character.
He told police he killed his family because God told him to do it, after he found out about an alleged extramarital affair.
Look at that! Now, guys, I'm not saying that he should have done this. All right? Obviously, guys, you don't go blasting, but guys, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Insane.
He would tell my husband, I'm going to baptize you. You're going to be in my religion. My husband was just like, no, I don't know.
The suspect is facing.
Yeah. So, Korg, you've been divorced, right?
Yes.
Man, how'd you make it do that? How'd that go?
Are you guys familiar with borderline personality disorder?
Yeah. Yep.
I'd never heard of it until somebody made mention of it while I was going through my divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I take that back. Maybe it was a little, it might have been toward the end, a little after. Anyway, not long after the papers were signed, I actually got involved with a woman who had a degree in psychology, and I made mention to her that if somebody made mention my ex was a borderline, and she said, let's get my DSM out and look it up. And when she started reading off all the particulars about a borderline, I got sick to the gut.
What?
Because
yeah.
Borderlines are master gaslighters, and I was gaslit for 6 years. And they have these narcissistic tendencies. You think most women are petulant children? That's nothing compared to living with a borderline. But the one thing that I did is once I figured out, because I'm like, I think you and I are relatively the same, because you said once somebody crosses you, you go scorched earth. You are petty and vindictive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty easygoing until I get pushed, and then I get pissed. And so basically she was, it was like being in a bar. She was going to run the pool table. And I said, oh, no, you're not. Because she doesn't like hearing the word no, and would quote imaginary clauses in the divorce decree and stuff like that. But let me tell you a quick story of something that I did. So she got one of the vehicles, and I had to cover 75% of the payment.
Mm-hmm.
And payment, I think it was like middle of the month. Okay. Well, I didn't trust her any farther than I can throw my house. And I just knew that she was going to pull some kind of stunt where I didn't pay on time. So I learned very quickly how to utilize the return receipt certified mail of the post office, so that I would grab a whole stack of those return receipt cards and a whole stack of the certified mail receipts. And I would write the tracking number of those receipts on the check, because I paid by check every month. And I would mail that to her with everything documented, so that when The check came back from the bank, and I had that return receipt that she had to sign for that. Everything would all get organized into a folder so that if any given moment, if she tried to claim that I was late for that payment because I was going to get penalized for it, I had proof that it couldn't happen. Well, about 8 months in, she calls me one day just screaming up a storm, and she says, "You need to stop sending that certified mail and just mail it to me." And I said, "No." And she said, "No, you don't understand. I have to drive all the way to the post office to go pick this up, and it's a waste of my time." I said, "No." And she got really pissed and said, "I'm going to call my lawyer, and we're going to get a stop put to this." Yeah, well, that never happened.
Dang.
Oh yeah. And then so the best part was, she's a deadbeat when it comes to paying bills, and she couldn't get me removed from the loan because it was through one of the credit companies for the manufacturer of the vehicle. So I was watching that like a hawk, because if she didn't make the payments and that vehicle got repossessed, I could sue her. And so every couple of weeks, I'd check in on the status of that account. She tried to get the account changed to a friend of hers' address, and I knew the husband, and I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, did you know Nitwit is having the bill sent to your house?" And he said, "Who the hell she is."
She got remarried?
No, she was just trying to play games with the bills and all that. And so she tried to change the address of where it was getting mailed, and I'd call the customer service and I'd say, "Hey, this isn't the correct address of where she lives." And they said, "Oh, do you know where she lives?" "Oh, absolutely." And I was always more than happy to keep the account up to date, until the very last payment got sent, and there was still an outstanding balance on the vehicle. And I thought, I know she's going to call me and demand payment, even because she's going to think that I have to pay her until the vehicle is paid off. But my lawyer was smart enough to put language in there that said, until such and such a date, that's when it is. And now she never called, which surprised the hell out of me. But then about 5 or 6 months later, I got a check. And I thought, what the heck is this for? "Oh, well, this is a refund for overpayment on the vehicle." Well, it turned out that she traded the vehicle in, and there was an overage on what they gave her for it, and the refund was kicked back to me.
Look at that. Let's go, dude. Got to get that money. So, like, what made you finally, like, what was the last straw when you to make you divorce?
It's really, really complicated to get in there, but basically she tried to use the fact that I got laid off as an excuse. She was how do I want to say this, horsing around with some simp in the background, and she ended up marrying him, and it's been funny as hell to me ever since then.
So she was basically trying to find a way out anyways, and just use that as an excuse.
Well, she was getting caught in her game too. That was a lot of the other
Now,
issues.
who was the guy? Was he just some like beta male orbiter?
Yeah, I don't know where she's 4 years older than I am, and she was still trying to be a party girl. So I think she met him at a club or something like that, because she had the attitude that these young women have today. And this was 25 years ago of, no man's going to tell me what I can and can't do, and I can do whatever I want. But she was always perpetually broke. So,
man,
damn.
And here's one of the things that one of the traps, because I'm divorced and I got trapped. So women, they want to be independent in a relationship and independent in a marriage. So I don't want to lose my independence.
Exactly.
One of the most common ways that they want to manifest this is that your money is the house money, and her money is for her to do whatever she wants with, and you can't tell her what to do with her money.
Yep. And
most of the guys I know that got divorced, they fell into that trap, and all of us, we couldn't tell you. I was married to my ex-wife for 4 years, and I couldn't tell you what she spent all that money on. I really couldn't.
Exactly. One piece of advice I'll give guys, and that is, let me throw it out to you this way. Who is your attorney's number one enemy in the courtroom or in a court case? It's going to be you, the client, because there's one rule that you all need to learn if you're going through any kind of legal matter, and that is you shut up and you do it often. Because you have to remember that guy or that woman is there advocating on your behalf. And you know how women always like to act like they're in control and they're trying to goad you into doing something stupid.
Yeah.
If you ever go to a court hearing, so again, for any of you guys that if you're going through this or you know somebody who's going through this, you just zip it and you sit there and you let your attorney do all the talking, because your attorney is a filter. And I guarantee you, she's going to run her mouth at some point in court, and it's going to trip her up very badly, because that was able to happen with mine. They'll try to get stalking charges put on you to get a victim protect. Mine tried to do
TV
the
charges.
Yeah, mine tried to get the VPO, and the judge literally laughed in her face.
Damn.
Because I know the judge was, they put us at the very end of the docket because my attorney had wanted a court reporter to record everything that was done during the hearing. Well, we were on different sides of the courtroom, but she just had this bitter, hateful look on her face and was always, looking around. I could see her scanning everything. And there were about 15 cases that went before us. She tried to pull the woe is me, and she was terrified and scared, and all this was going on. And
what a joke.
And the judge said, she claimed she was being followed, and the judge looked at her and said, well, that's what people do. It's called discovery. And she denied the order.
As Scott says, my last straw was when my wife told me it's my body and I'll do with it what I want. Whoa. I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. Scott, dude, are you serious? Yo, that sucks, dude. That really, really, guys, my good friend, he found out that his ex-girlfriend in college deleted his baby and didn't even tell him. He didn't even know about it until years later. You know that? He found out like 15 years later.
You know what? But here's the okay. I don't know what's worse. Would I rather find out that a woman deleted my child 10 years later, or find out that a woman had my child, kept the child away from me, and met the kid 10 years later? Because here's the thing. There's so many things that have been normalized of men suffering in the United States. Why have we normalized a main character finds out that he has a son or a daughter out there 10 years later? Think about all the TV characters. Batman found out that he had a son who's 10. Forrest Gump. Why is this okay? Worf from Star Trek. So I would rather, both scenarios are bad, but I'd rather find out that the woman deleted the child than kept the child away from me for 10 years. And I will also say, the greatest movie villain of all time is Darth Vader. The second greatest is Jenny from Forrest Gump.
That's facts. That's facts.
Hands down.
Yep,
hands
a
down.
demon. She's a demon.
Absolute
dude.
demon. Yeah, and third, I think third is Annie Wilkes from Misery, and fourth is the girl from Titanic.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. That's true. Steve said he's never, ever, ever getting married again. John James says his first wife went to prison. The divorce went very smoothly after that. Dang, he said meth. Yikes, man. Look at that.
It just
possession with intent to sell. I see it. I have it up. Hold on.
Go to the second link, not the first.
The second link is from E! News, and that's copyright.
Okay. Go to the first one then.
Let's see. Dang, he's just. I have a family member who found out at some point their mom considered deleting her. Yeah, she still doesn't understand why he's pro-life. Damn. Whiteout, what's up, dude? I mean, no, Darth Vader. Palpatine didn't really do anything. He was there on the third one. But Darth Vader, I mean, 1 and 2 and 3, he was a gangster. You know? So here we go, guys. Guys, this is Hulk Hogan's wife talking trash about Hulk Hogan after they got divorced. Here it is years later.
Wait, hold on. Give it background. So she left Hulk Hogan for her son's best friend. She was 50 at the time and he was 28. And Hulk Hogan was like, I don't condone what O.J. Simpson did, but I can understand because I see this 28-year-old kid in the house that I bought for my wife, banging my wife, driving the Ferrari and the Escalade that I bought for her. I understand why AJ did. I'm sorry, why OJ did what he did. Sorry.
That's not me. Hey, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Right, guys? Look at this.
Family is in the worst mess. Brooke doesn't talk to us. She's had twins. She got married.
Terrible.
She didn't tell us. She had twins. She didn't tell us. She had a huge fight with Terry. I don't know how that reflected onto me, but she cut me out too. I haven't talked to her for 7 years.
She looks like a meth head, right, guys? She looks terrible.
It's almost 8 years now.
I'll guarantee the daughter isn't talking to her because
God bless Nick.
Say again?
I guarantee the daughter isn't talking to her because there's more to it. Because women do this crap.
It's true. It's true.
He's still such a good boy. I've never put a Facebook post out like this with my ugly face and my crying face, but I have to be honest about what I went through in my marriage with Terry as Hulk Hogan and what it entailed and what it has caused over the years and everything else. He's a complete liar. He is a sex addict. Your face out there and know that all these horrible things are going on behind the scenes. Yet he marches on. He marches on like, yeah. Oh, I'm promoting my own beer, Real American Beer. Yeah, look at me. Woo!
Now wait for it. Here
Yeah.
comes
Hater. She's a hater, guys. Look at how hateful she is, right? Guys, and this is why you got to always live better than your ex, because they're always going to track you down after years, after their life goes to crap, and they're going to look at your Facebook page, your Instagram, and it's going to be,
I'm going to kill your bitch ass, bitch. He's such a
Here
hero,
comes.
right?
Watch, listen. Here comes.
Not. Okay, I'm going to give him my thumbs down. I've given him more opportunities to come back and make us a family. And
Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
more giving him opportunities to come back. She left him.
Yeah, but remember, the women in their stories, they're always the hero or the victim.
Yep. 99% of the time, they're volunteers.
and try to I'm sorry, it's so sad.
Please. Look at that, guys. What a
She left him for a 28-year-old.
Look at that.
Put charges on him. He had to leave his own house, and now she's like, "I give him a chance to put the pen in the G." I wonder why.
So AJ, back when you were talking about guys doing their own thing, the ex had a friend who, oh God, real just all the time. And this lady's husband he bought a car. It was a late 60s something or other that reminded him of the first car that he owned when he was in high school, and he wanted to fix this car up. And we were over at their house one time, and she was just bitching up a storm about this guy. He doesn't need that car. That car ain't no good. Blah 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 blah. And I said, "What does it matter? He's home. He likes the car. It's a hobby. What's it hurting? And just nonstop griping about that. And he has other things that he needs to do because you know how a lot of wives are like that. You know, they're mothers and they're constantly dictating what their husbands need to do. Well, many years later, I happened to run into that woman again, and she had she tells me, "Oh, yeah, so we're divorced," and then wait for it. I had to really maintain my composure, and she says, "And of course, he went out and married a younger woman," and that was all I could do not to laugh in her face and say, "I don't blame him."
Yeah, I don't understand like why you know, these chicks, they get so jealous and pissed off that us guys have hobbies, that we're into cars, that we're into video games. You know what I'm saying? 40K, all these things. Like, what do you want them to be out chasing skirt? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, they're the same ones. Like my ex and her friend and a couple of her friends, they read those stupid romance novels or they watch those idiotic reality TV shows. But they bitch about the guys that are got a car hobby or play on the computer or whatnot.
Yep, it's true. It's true. Because here we go. Here's another guy. He was in a custody battle with his wife. Here we go.
The grisly deaths of 4 people in an apartment in Queens. One of the victims, a 6-year-old boy. And good evening, everyone, at 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter. Liz is off tonight. A bloody murder-suicide. A family wiped out after an international custody battle ends in deadly gunfire in Queens. New York cops say James Shields killed his ex-wife and their young son. Another victim, believed to be his current wife, was also shot and killed. And then Shields turned the gun on himself. Damn. All that happening last night in Astoria. Eyewitness News reporter Sandra Brooklyn live at the scene with our lead story tonight. Sandra.
Bill, it wasn't long after police arrived here at the scene here in Astoria last night that they began to suspect this might be a triple murder-suicide. And finally today, after talking to family members, neighbors, and even scouring social media, they determined that this was apparently a case of a man so desperately afraid of losing his child that he decided, for whatever reason, that murder was the only way out.
Damn.
Even as beat cops guarded the crime scene today, detectives were working to unravel the mystery of what may have led to the triple murder-suicide that has stunned residents along this Astoria block.
It's crazy. I'm still in shock myself. I can't believe it.
And there's a neighborhood and a busybody, the neighborhood nosy neighbor. You know what I'm saying?
It's always funny how these the news asks the neighbors, especially the women. I kind of knew that there was something off about that. I got a sense of it, but I didn't quite know what it was. But okay, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you do anything?
Yeah,
you didn't. You're perfectly cordial to him. You didn't say anything, but for the camera, you're trying to make yourself seem more important.
Yep, sure.
An ongoing, bitter child custody battle was likely the lethal trigger that led 39-year-old James Shields to shoot and kill his ex-wife, 47-year-old Linda Olthoff, their 6-year-old son, James Jr., and his current wife, a 38-year-old whose identity is so far being withheld, and then turn the gun on himself.
What we have here is an ongoing case where we...
Dang. Well, here we go, guys. So here's a video that this guy made, right? There we go. Now, he's a smaller content creator, guys, but we should go over here and show him some love. I'll drop a link to his channel.
Buddy, welcome back. I made it back outside finally. It looks like the temperatures were on the rise for a little bit. We got more cold temperatures coming next week, but I guess that's just the way and the nature of it when you got kind of the polar vortex they're talking about. Today, I wanted to delve into a little bit more personal stuff, sort of a warning for those of you who don't really understand the nature of marriage, especially in the Western world today. And I'm going to delve into my experience and my story quite a bit deeper. For warning, this is a bit of a horror story, and you are going to be reeling from it and probably hiding under your covers by the time I'm done telling you everything, but here goes. As most of you know, there is a huge amount of divorce happening. The rate of divorces somewhere between 50 and 60%, depending on which numbers you look at. And a lot of people are getting divorced because initially the woman files for divorce 70 to 80% of the time, simply because our society is completely falling apart, and it's encouraging people to break up families over literally nothing.
Yep, it's
They're
true.
chasing after your dreams, break up everything, and ruin your life. Well, I have a personal horror story that will kind of explain a little bit of my motivation, even for starting my YouTube channels. And
Guys, copyright only works if a person, guys. So this guy's channel's adjacent to mine. So how YouTube works is if a person uses your video, you can and you don't like what they're saying, you can strike it. Or if they are actually literally taking it, using it as your own. I mean, as their own. So, guys, we'll be fine. But because his channel and mine say the same thing. So basically, guys, he's saying the same thing.
Especially this one.
Guys, I got a strike once because I was talking about this chick that had the herp dirt, and I reviewed 2 of her videos, and she tried to strike me, and it actually worked. So I got demonetized for a month because this chick didn't like what I was saying about her goofy channel. So
that was the one
You
was
said?
like, yeah, if I pray, I prayed about it, and God took away the herp dirt.
Yeah. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button. Appreciate that. Hit the super chat button. We have 77 people, guys. We have 49 likes. Guys, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And kind of fill you in on my background to a certain degree. I went through a divorce. I was married years ago, had kids when I was young, and I know I've been told I look a little younger than I actually am. I'm in my mid to late 40s. I don't like to give too much identifying information. You just, my name's Steve, and that's where I'm at. To get right into it, I went through a divorce. They ended up, after everything was happening, they ended up giving her alimony. She wanted to file with the court to get alimony.
Alimony.
There were several things that were really in the way of it that I attempted to protest. She was living with a man, very likely pregnant with his child at the time.
Look at that!
And doing stuff together on bank accounts, and even the following year filing their taxes together, even though she was legally married to me.
Look at that!
Going through the divorce. As time went on, I eventually got a hold of an attorney who was able to help me with it. But part of the reason why I had to is that when I initially protested all of this, the judge looked right at me and said, well, you can't just come in here and say that you think she's living with this other person and involved in a romantic relationship. You're going to have to provide some kind of evidence and proof, which led me to go through multiple different attorneys until somebody wasn't shaking in their boots and actually would take this on to fight it. To get to that point, we eventually I found a good attorney that was willing to do that. We got a hold of a private investigator, got a hold of the information, but as you know, in the court system, sometimes you can be waiting for 6, 8, 10 months for a court date to get something in front of a judge and get something addressed. After a few years, finally towards the end of the divorce, and after
a few years, guys, look at that.
They were likely going to determine that I owed some sort of debt, which unfortunately where I live, debts cannot just be vacated afterwards. So she essentially can potentially get cash and prizes even if caught lying. Now, my attorney warned me that's probably what's going to happen. He said, we're going to get in there. We're going to have the private investigators' evidence. We're going to have all this evidence against her.
And you're going to
and
get
even
cut.
when she gets caught lying, they aren't going to do a thing about it. She'll be caught committing perjury and fraud personally against you and having manipulated the court system, and they're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to strip it from here on forward. And I was like, wait a minute. So I'm going to owe a debt, even though she's being forced to admit and proven with evidence that she lied about it all? And he was like, yep.
Sounds about right. Right, guys? Right? That's how the system works. Look at that.
And he goes, you're going to hate the system after that. And I I did. How can you? How can you support that level of corruption? So we got in there. Yes, she got convicted of alimony fraud, essentially. They stripped her of any further alimony payments. They weren't able to vacate the old debt because certain, I guess you could say, feminist laws have taken place here where they kind of contradict common sense, that if somebody gets caught committing fraud, they shouldn't be able to benefit or profit from it. But the way that it was structured and set up, there's a division of support enforcement that handles things like everything from child support to other things, and they were the ones that would eventually take on this debt.
Damn.
And then come after me to make me pay it.
That's crazy.
Which means I am paying for somebody to live with another person, have children with them, live a whole life with them, and I can't really do much of anything about it. I might.
And guys, what do you think, right? This guy's cooked. He's cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Might be able to file a personal lawsuit. And this is when the story gets very, very crazy.
Here we go. It gets
My
worse.
attorney had figured out by looking at the laws and everything that was arranged where I live, and we were preparing to do all of that and also use it on the basis of the grounds that not only did she have children with the guy that we could prove, she had filed taxes jointly together with him, which showed that they were obviously tied together, that her name was on his bank accounts. And on top of all of that, they had, they had been living together pretty much the whole time, and she even had to admit to it in court. Well, it gets crazy because he and several other attorneys that have been fighting for cases like this and trying to, as they win each case, it sets a precedent and helps other people. I end up getting a message from somebody one weekend saying, your attorney's missing. And just a friend, a buddy of mine on Facebook, I go and look, and there's this poster that's being shared digitally and shared all across social media saying, yeah, he just went missing this weekend. And, oh, yeah, now he's mysteriously dead.
Whoa, look at that.
I'm not even kidding. This sounds like something out of a, some novel like The Firm or something where lawyers are ending up dead. And two other attorneys over the last year and a half around that same time, one of which had been fighting similar cases like this, ended up dead from a hit and run that they never figured out who did it. Which all of that was incredibly disturbing. The attorney at that point, I had known him for years. He was engaged to be married. He had been married before. He was engaged to be married to another woman. And it was never officially determined what the cause of death was. A couple people whispered about suicide. I had a very, very hard time believing in that. Put me back to a point to where now I'm stuck without any attorney because I can't find anybody willing to actually investigate and fight this. They pretty much shy away from me the minute I tell them who my attorney was and tell them anything about it. And all sorts of strange stuff that's happened with all of that. Just, oh man, I could go into it, like records that people can't seem to find about previous court dates and other things like that should be readily available, yet nobody
That's
can really
crazy.
locate. So it is pretty much a horror story confirming my ultimate point of this video, that generally speaking, marriage is just a sham. Marriage is just completely a racket that ends up raking you completely over the coals, and you need to be very, very careful, tread lightly. In all my court dates and the stuff of dealing with attorneys that I now know way more about than I would ever really want to know, I will tell you that prenuptial agreements get thrown out like crazy. They don't care. They will just talk.
You guys remember when Pearly Things had Andrew Wilson on? Andrew Wilson's like, well, you just get a prenup.
Yeah, he talks out of his ass a lot.
Yeah.
If you get married, you'll get a virtuous woman. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And even if you can define it, women are rewarded for not being virtuous. And then even if a woman starts off being virtuous, what's going to keep her virtuous? Nothing.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Guys, these chicks can't even spell virtuous, right? Come on now. You know what I mean?
Lost your prenuptial agreement. You'll be stuck owing for all sorts of different bills and things. And if you are really careful with an attorney, you might get out of some of it. But the only real way that you can do that is to watch your own back. Do not trust the system. Do not trust what people are going to tell you. Set it up to where there's no way around it except for the person that if you get involved at all, which I recommend being extremely careful about, especially with most women here, because even if they don't have it in their mind to do that, they go talk to an attorney and an attorney's like, oh yeah, balls, everything's in your favor here. And if you lie, you win cash in prizes and they won't do a thing to you. They won't charge you with fraud. They won't charge you with perjury.
He's a pretty even-keeled guy, but you can just hear the frustration in his voice.
Oh yeah, because you do everything right and you're getting reamed.
Guys, and here's the thing. This is the voice of a man who's been wronged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen this video before, and you're absolutely right.
You know what I mean? He's not whining, he's not moaning, he's not complaining, it's too deep. It's too deep for that. This was him like coming to the realization that A, he got wrong, and B, he never stood a chance. You know what I'm saying? Ever. He never stood a chance. Absolutely insane. Hold on, guys.
You get away with it, you get to collect money, and so do I. And the attorneys all know this. My attorney, when we went into court and caught her committing fraud and perjury as far as alimony is concerned, he warned me. He said, they're not going to do anything. Now, here's the flip side of that. If the person paying, which is usually the men, some women get caught up in this web too. If the person paying gets caught doing any type of deception at all, they take away your freedom, send you to jail. You're in huge trouble. They come after you 6 ways from Sunday, and they absolutely destroy your life. If it's even suggested or hinted that you might be committing fraud, or maybe even if you've made a mistake, which I don't know hardly any guys that came in there trying to trick the system. They want to pay for their kids and, within reason, pay alimony if that's what's necessary. But
John James says his second wife was a 20-year-old virgin. He did everything right. She still turned into a 304. Damn.
It is just absolutely incredible how the laws conflict. It works in the favor of people that commit fraud and perjury, and they get away with it. So, yeah, that's why this video is really entitled "Marriage is a Sham," because believe me, it is. Watch your back. Be very careful who you are with. Now, I want to mention something. During the course of all of this, I don't want you to throw women just in general under the bus, because we're each individuals. When you say men do this and women do that, yeah, there are generalities that are true. But I have encountered women that, when under pressure, refused to manipulate the system, take their ex to the cleaners and get a bunch of money that they weren't really entitled to. I have encountered women that refused to go down that road, refused to take the bait, were very honorable about it, and recognized what was going on and thought, this is not right. I'm not going to be able to sleep well at night if I know I'm going to move forward with another man and I'm getting paid by another guy to do it, and I have to constantly watch my back and make sure that I don't get caught. And I don't bother to tell them, you might not, even if you do get caught. My ex got cash in prizes for it. So absolutely watch your back. Absolutely watch your back. Do not get married under the regular system unless you are extremely careful, or you can find another way to basically have not necessarily a common law marriage, but check the laws in your state, speak to an attorney, and become.
Heretic says Andrew makes you sick. Crowded. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Andrew, guys. Andrew Wilson, guys. I like Andrew Wilson, right? I do. He's one of my favorite people to watch on the internet, right? I really do enjoy his content. But guys, Andrew Wilson is not red pill. He's not. He's on the whatever podcast. He uses a lot of our talking points because our talking points are just facts, right? Guys, people have never been able to disprove the red pill talking points. They always attack who says it and how it's said. But guys, please remember, Andrew Wilson is a Christian ethicist, right? That's what he's there for. which means he is a tradcon. And guys, when Andrew Wilson, when he was on Pearly Things, that was the first time that there was a visible rift between Andrew Wilson and red pill ideology. That was the most direct butting of heads between what Andrew Wilson believes and what our belief is, and it othered him really, really fast. Okay, because guys, honestly, Pearly Things is not some smart debater. She's not some super amazing, but she asked him justify marriage, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He was sounding like a 304. You know what I'm saying? Well, you should just do it just to do it. All of his reasons were BS.
Yeah, marry these hoes.
Yeah,
marry them. Just do it.
And
what's
all
the worst that can happen?
I went to this one person who reposted it, who was like, "I don't even like Pearly Things. She's a stupid broad." But you know what? She's right. Andrew Wilson's wrong. All these people that don't even like Pearly Things were like, how is Pearly Things kind of like owning Andrew Wilson on this marriage issue? You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the first time that anyone had really, really seen that there was a rift between Andrew Wilson's platform and in the Red Pill platform. And on, man, thanks for handing out some memberships, man. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support, my friend.
I'm legally aware of what could potentially.
RH says debate him. Dude, I agree with Andrew Wilson on like 99% of things, other than the whole God thing, because I'm not religious. So his whole God thing and then men need to thing. Those are the two parts that I would actually say more 10%. You know what I'm saying? The two large issues that I disagree with Andrew Wilson on is the men's duty to make society better.
Yeah, no, he always says the whole, are we just gonna just sit there and just watch it burn?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. That's the only way society is gonna get better.
Let it burn, say I told you so, and then say things are going to change.
Yep, that's true. And guys, the Titanic has already hit the iceberg and is sinking. All of us red pill guys and even the black pill guys. See, the black pill guys and the MGTOWs, they jumped on the first lifeboats out and they're way almost to shore already. Us red pill guys are sitting there watching the ship sink, and these blue pills and these betas, they're the cello players on the deck of the boat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Doug and B, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I lost it. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Matter of fact, we can actually pull that clip up next and watch part of that, and then this guy has a sequel.
It happened to you. I mean, there are states where people are paying for kids, legally mandated to pay for children that aren't even theirs. And even when it gets revealed that they were somehow deceived and that they actually are not.
I got it.
Children.
So, I remember when on that Saucecast where it was Greg Adams and that Hafiz douchebag,
keep talking. I'll be right back.
And so Adam Sosnick, his producer was this like 21-year-old little hot chick, and CGA is going off about women and this, that, whatever, and she said that she tried to trap him and say, so you have a daughter, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, how old is she? She's 15 or 17 or something. She's like, so would you say all this stuff to your daughter? Would you say about your daughter? And he's like, she's like, what would you tell her about all this stuff? Because he's like, yeah, she's my platform. So what would you say? He's like, I wouldn't say anything. My daughter's in her teens. Whatever her dad tells her to do, she's going to do the exact opposite. So, I don't tell her to do anything. She's going to have to make enough mistakes to come to her dad and ask for advice. And that's the only time a woman will learn. is when she comes to you for advice, and that's what modern women are going to have to do. They're going to have to burn themselves enough time. Because, guys, remember, things will never be fair for men, ever. So women in the fight for equality are fighting for their lives to be just as unfair for them as it is for men. That's what this is going to look like. That's what this is, right? And so life is going to get unfair enough. They're going to get burned enough. They're going to get tired enough from having to work these jobs, going to these high-priced institutions to put themselves in a whole bunch of debt for some underwater lesbian dance theory degree to get a job where they're not going to make any money. And then they're going to come back to men and say, help me, help.
Yeah.
Until then, MGTOW.
Yeah, that's true. Guys, like I said, walking away, think about what we've done to a Gillette, to Bud Light, right? You know what I mean? These companies piss us off, to Marvel, to Disney, to Star Wars. Things that piss us off, we walk away from. So, but yeah, Heretic. Okay, guys, I think that the manosphere is the term to like encompass like all the the red pill, the MGTOW, whatever. Kevin Samuels, he wasn't red pill, he was more just like general manosphere, right? Because he did talk about marriage and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't call Kevin Samuels a trad con either. You know what I'm saying? But he was Black community focused. So he was saying that marriage, if you look at all the most successful cultures, have a good culture of like marriage and family. And the reason why the Black community is going down the toilet is because we don't value that at all. So yeah,
they still aren't off the hook. And clearly the other person lied about it, manipulated the system, committed fraud, and screwed them over completely. So watch your backs out there, guys. Really, really watch your backs and realize you need to keep your hands up and protect yourself at all times, because the system is not going to do it. It does not care. You are just simply something that it can use to get funds drained out of your life, and they'll do it any way that's possible. And they will absolutely support the hedonistic corruption that is eating away at our society. I mean, one of the major reasons why people are cheating and leaving marriages and doing all of this is because our government is literally paying them to do it.
There you go.
It's literally paying them to commit fraud, break up families, lie, cheat, and then rewarding the behavior.
Yep.
Essentially what happened in that situation is my ex was rewarded for lying, rewarded for manipulating the system. She didn't get in trouble. She got a payday out of it.
Yep.
So if ever you're thinking about blindly trusting somebody and waltzing into a situation, vet that situation, find out about that person, find out about your legal rights, find out about the laws in your state. Are they going to come after you if you live together, if there's common law marriage?
Yep.
Make sure you know. Make sure you know, and make sure that you are vetting every single person every day. And it doesn't matter what part of the world you live in, because this stuff is spreading everywhere. Make sure you vet who you are with, figure out what they're all about, look into your your legal rights in the situation, what the law.
DTM, no. All of phases 1 through 4 of Marvel weren't woke until friggin' Endgame. But you cannot tell me that Iron Man 1, 2, Thor 1, 2, 3, Captain America 1, 2, and 3, all those were Doctor Strange, the first one. Those weren't woke at all. Disney didn't go woke with Marvel until after Endgame, when they had that stupid scene where with all of the females, she has help. That signaled the end for Marvel right there. Right? They did have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good. Spider-Man No Way Home, that was good, but Sony had made that because they were taking Spider-Man back, right? And then the new Daredevil was really good too. The new Daredevil show. But other than that, Marvel was woke after Endgame. You can't argue that Ragnarok was woke. No. Thor 1 and 2, no. Avengers, no. All the first 4 phases of Marvel were great. That's why they're all like billion-dollar films. It wasn't until phase 4? Yeah. And what's crazy, guys, is that the comics went woke in 2012. So, guys, they were making crap woke comics as the MCU got bigger and bigger. So the MCU was actually making the pre-2012 Marvel comics. And then from 2012 on, in the actual comics, is when you saw like Ironheart and all this crap, while Tony Stark was becoming the most like one of the biggest faces in superhero-dom. Because remember, Iron Man's always been like a C-level character in the comic books up until recently, But when Iron Man 1 dropped is what blew the MCU up. But they were using older versions of the characters. So, yeah. Guys, Tim Hortons has the best coffee there is. You guys ever want a great cup of coffee, like just coffee in a cup with some cream, a little bit of Splenda? Get some Tim Hortons, man. That's some good stuff.
Those are watch your backs. Really just watch your backs. So consider my tale a cautionary tale. And try to learn.
$13 for a pint of IPA. Matt H., where do you live, dude? Are you serious? Really? No way. Look at that. Look at that. Heretic French. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. ever apologized for Tropic Thunder. I think that either Ben Stiller did or the director did, but Robert Downey Jr. never did. And the MCU started after Endgame.
Yep. She-Hulk could have been great.
It was perfectly fine.
Yeah, She-Hulk could have been great, and they completely ruined the character.
Yeah.
I gotta drop off.
All right, bud. Take it easy. And guys, the StreamYard link is there for anyone who wants to come on up. Now Star Wars has been cooked for a long time, but I would like to see someone argue like Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, Winter Soldier, Civil War. Those were the farthest things from woke to us. Korg, what's your favorite MCU movie?
Man, it's a toss-up between Civil War and Endgame.
I think Winter Soldier's the best one for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I meant to say Winter Soldier.
Yeah, because it's basically a Clancy movie, but with Captain America in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That movie is one of the greatest movies. It's so crazy because it's like if I ever have regular television on, or if I'm at the gym, there's a couple times where it's come on and I'll be doing like cardio. And I'm like, dang it! Now I got to sit here and watch. I forgot the damn movie,
I used to know a guy who said anytime Smokey and the Bandit came on TV, if he was channel flipping, no matter where it was in the movie, he had to stop and watch it to the end.
Yeah, Shawshank's the same way. You know what I mean? Shawshank's not like, crap. Now I got to watch the rest of it.
Learn from it. Try to profit from it, because
I would say my top 5 are probably a Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Infinity War, let's see.
The Punisher series was great. And the first Daredevil. I was hooked on Daredevil in the very first episode within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Daredevil's my favorite superhero of all time. Daredevil's great. Even the Disney version, that Born Again, that was still good. You know
thankfully,
what I mean?
Thankfully they didn't get dirty.
Yeah, good stuff, man. And then I think the first Ant-Man, I like that one a lot. because it was a heist film, you know.
Mhm.
Then I would say, I have to think about the last one. I can tell you the ones I didn't like. I didn't like the first Thor, was trash. Captain America 3 was garbage. All the new stuff, Shang-Chi. I didn't even see Quantumania or any of that. Captain Marvel's
that good. I didn't
trash.
waste my time with Captain. Wait, what was it? The Marvels. I didn't.
Yeah, the
waste my time.
Marvels trash.
Yeah.
I like. I would say number 5 was Ragnarok. That was great. That was
I
was a great movie.
watched that probably 5 times, and I really
Yeah.
like Ragnarok.
Yeah, and then Love and Thunder was trash. That movie was
that was complete
dude.
crap.
It's just disappointing, man. So, but yeah.
Well, after Ragnarok, Tiki Wakili, whatever his name is,
Taiki, whatever. Yeah,
he turned Thor into a buffoon, which really just pisses me off because Thor is one of the most powerful in the MCU.
Hey guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button. Hit the super chat button. Yeah, but guys. Once again, so the reason why we all are so okay, I think we're annoyed that the MCU is bad, but guys, Star Wars is dead. Because guys, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you're just apathetic about Star Wars now. If you just don't even care anymore. And guys, that's how you know that a franchise is cooked. If you can't elicit any type of response from someone anymore, you're cooked. You're cooked. I still have hope for some Marvel at some point. I'm not going to see Fantastic Four. I'm not going to watch the Avengers crap or whatever that they're coming out with. But I know that they're going to make a season 2 of Daredevil. They're going to make another Punisher. You know what I'm saying? So there's stuff from Marvel that I could watch. But guys, Star Wars is cooked. Cooked.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
There's all this talk about guys don't like strong female characters. Sigourney Weaver in the Alien movies was kick-ass.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor was kick-ass. What's her name? Ahsoka is everybody's favorite female Star Wars character.
Remember? Maybe
Xena. Heck yeah. Back in the 90s.
Come on, dude. We all watch this show. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. This is a great show. You know?
If the character is written well, guys don't care what the gender is. Give us a good character.
Vasquez from Aliens.
Oh, yeah. You ever been mistaken for a man? No, have you?
My favorite is when Hudson looks down the big hole. Looks like someone bagged one of Ripley's bad guys. He goes, Vasquez shoves him. What's going around? You remember? She shoves him towards the hole.
You know who Vasquez played in another movie that came out just a few years later?
She was John's adopted mom. She was a T-1000.
Foster parents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, foster parents, yeah. And then you guys remember Red Sonja with
Bridget Nielsen?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys loved that. Even because that was back in the 80s.
Yeah. Remember this?
Yeah.
This is a good one too. Guys have no problem with female characters. And guys, here's the thing: we can even suspend our belief, guys. If you want to have a chick that's beating dudes up, right? Have her have some superpowers, some magic powers. Hell, give her a friggin' Russian accent of some make her a foreigner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You remember who's the one chick? That Ziva chick from NCIS?
Tony Pablo.
Yeah. You remember her? She was supposedly massaged, so she's like, yeah! You know, like it wasn't, you roll your eyes every now and then. But guys, if you give a chick an accent, it'll suspend the belief, because James Bond always set up that foreign femme fatale. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but yeah, us guys never, ever, ever, ever cared. And then who was the chick? Stargate.
Oh, are you talking Amanda Tapping, or are you talking
the hot one, the black girl?
Oh,
with the abs.
Yeah, Rachel Luttrell.
Luttrell.
There she is.
Her name. Hold on. Yeah, Rachel Luttrell. Yeah, hold on. Rachel Luttrell. Miss Six Pack. Dude, yeah, she was butt kicking, but remember her race or her tribe had like psychic powers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, guys, it wasn't easy to suspend your belief. It's a sci-fi show. You know what I'm saying? The chick has some type of superpowers or whatever. Fine, right? That's not bad. Or they're just badasses like friggin' Sarah Connor, you know?
But she wasn't like a lot of these women in some of these movies where, she's 5'3", 90 pounds soaking wet, but she's kicking the ass of some guy who's 6'4", 225. Give me a break.
Yeah.
And she doesn't break a sweat.
Did you ever see Atomic Blonde?
Yes.
Okay, guys, check out Atomic Blonde. If you want to see a movie where these fight scenes, because she's small, and like the amount of damage that she has to take these guys out is absolutely insane.
And it's realistic too, because she almost gets killed.
Yeah. And it actually like explains. She's like, "How am I supposed to take these guys out?" I'm little. It's like you got to do everything you can. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's good, man. And then I think.
Another one is the Evil Dead movies. What's her name?
Which one?
Or not Evil Dead. Resident.
Oh yeah. Mila Jovovich.
Yes. See, she's another strong female character.
Yeah.
But she was realistic, and everybody liked her.
And she wasn't annoying either.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, guys, it's so funny that because She-Hulk, she was supposed to be a lawyer, right?
Right.
Right? This is what happens when women write lawyers. But guys, remember Kim
Wexler.
Guys, this is what happens when men write female lawyers and a really good actress plays them.
Yep.
Guys, there's a episode of Law and Order. Guys, go and check this out. This actress right here plays an Ann Coulter style person. And people, and then something bad happens to her, and then they, Benson and SVU have to go figure it out. But yeah, and the whole time she's still talking about her whole, Republican and Coulter style stuff. But she does a great job, so we'll go and check that out, So, but hold on, guys. Here you go. This is a Pearly Things thing, and then we'll go back to the second part of this guy's videos.
All I'm asking is
if we follow your prescription, let's
not
just
a
say,
prescription.
Well, let's say
I'm saying all I'm asking is the question is what's in it for the guy. Like if you're gonna
Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity on the Matrix, right? We have no problem with it. Trinity on the Matrix, and even Wonder Woman. Guys, Wonder Woman made $1 billion. The first one.
Sell something.
Yeah. RH, dude, Pearly Things is a terrible debater, which made it look even more bad on Andrew Wilson here, because she's going to ask him, what do men get out a divorce? This is not supposed to be a debate. You know what I'm saying? Like, There is no debate here. You cannot debate this. Andrew's trying to defend the indefensible. And that's the thing that, because I've watched this video more than a few times. This was them having like an interview or a conversation, and it turned into a debate. And she's just saying, I don't see what men get out of divorce. That's not a positive statement. She's not trying to say men should not get married. She's just saying, why should they? And that's when the conversation went off the rails.
Yeah. If you're going to sell a prescription, which I don't do, but I'm saying like you have to answer the question, what does he get?
I think that there are virtuous women that men can still get.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
There you go. There you go.
He didn't answer the question.
Exactly. And he doesn't answer the question the entire time. And that's when people, because I was watching this live, and you see people in the chat like, wait a minute, he's not answering the question. And that's why they did a follow-up the next day. They did a follow-up the next day. And guys, Andrew and Pearly things, I think that they actually know each other in the background. So it's not like this is, you know what I'm saying? But I am, he said so on his channel that he and Pearly things are actually friends. You know what I'm saying? So this is just them talking friendly. But they did a follow-up to kind of flush this out more, and he still couldn't answer the question. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Keystone's right. Yep.
And that they can practically get them, and that they exist all over the place, and there's millions of them.
Yeah, but Aaron Clary's run the numbers on that. That's not true. Like if you calculate,
I've read Aaron Clary's. So I've read Aaron Clary's book, right? Mm-hmm. But what is, just so you know, right? 1% of 300 million, still 3 million. Mm-hmm. Still a lot of women, right? And his numbers are not saying 1% are marriageable. Mm-hmm. And what he's giving is a spectrum, right? He's saying, look, if you're willing to put up with X, there's going to be 50% of women available for you. If you're willing to put up with Y, there's 30%, right? Mm-hmm. But if you want a chaste virgin, no tattoo, no trauma, it's a very small percentage. It's like, well, yeah, of course it is. But that probably was, it's probably always been the case in sexual liberation, that if you wanted a chaste virgin women, no tattoos, no trauma, that's going to be a small percentage.
Promiscuity was even calculated in the study.
Chastity, virginity.
Yeah, it was. That wasn't in there. No, he didn't calculate that. It was debt. It was tattoos. That's true. Yeah. It was obesity. Mm-hmm. It was I think those are the three main things. It was number of tattoos, debt, and obesity.
Oh, see, I would have calculated in chastity too.
Yeah, I know. But so he said 1% when you just calculate debt, obesity, and you know,
are marriageable.
Yeah.
Yeah, from his metrics.
Yeah. So okay, if you want to pay off a girl's debt,
here we go.
Cool, but
here we go.
And then that he didn't even include like sex work. So like, again, it's kind of asking the question, like what's in it for the average guy?
I think he did include chastity numbers. Clary did in his book. Now that I'm thinking.
Keyshawn, Andrew's trying to defend marriage because from his Christian worldview, marriage is important. You're supposed to get married because that's a biblical thing to do. You're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. And if you get divorced, you're supposed to eat crap and get up and do it again. Clown world. Absolutely insane. Because how many times have we talked about all these rich guys, regular guys, army guys getting boned in divorce? Right? And this is why we talk about trad cons. A man of God's gonna marry this single mother and her bastard children. A man of God, he would have never got divorced because women don't leave truly godly men. Clown world.
About it.
I don't think he did. Yeah. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'll go back and take a look. I have his book, so I'll take a look. But either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
ultimately, what I'm saying is like,
yes, Bezos, you are correct. But here's the thing about religious people. If they go by their religious ethics and because they believe that they are correct, they are going to do nothing but prescribe. Okay, that's what Andrew in his worldview, he knows the truth, and that's Christ, right? He presupposes Christ in everything. So he knows the truth. So he is not, I don't think that he realized that he was prescribing to a person and expecting prescription back. And Pearly Things is saying, I'm not trying to say what's right or wrong. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, she's stating facts. And
No. It's not about facts. She's just saying it's a bad deal. Convince me. And he's pleading his case, and she's saying, I don't believe you. You don't have to prove that you don't believe a person, right?
True.
What's going on is that, like I said, guys in a court case, there's guilty or what, Cord?
Not guilty.
Okay, but a person's either guilty or innocent, right?
Not in the eyes of the law.
No, but what? Well, because we are presumed innocent.
Correct.
But just because you're not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent. There's actually three positions. There's guilty, not guilty, and there's innocent. We don't have to prove innocence because we're a presumed innocent. Right. But if you had to, actually, you have to prove that a person's innocent, just like you have to prove they're guilty. But if I say that you're not guilty, then that doesn't mean that we think you're innocent. There's a third position.
Yeah, they didn't hit the burden of proof.
Yes, but luckily we live in a society where not guilty, it defaults back to that presumed innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with marriage, on the Pearly Things side, she's saying not guilty. You have not convinced me that marriage is good for guys. Andrew is trying to say guilty. Now, just because Pearl's saying not guilty doesn't mean that she's going to innocent and prescribing guys do not get married. She's just trying to say, I don't believe the claim that men should get married. And that's where he was failing here. And I think that's why people were so shocked at this whole interaction. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at those metrics, you're looking at the metrics for marriageable. It's like, well, let me ask you a question. What makes you marriageable?
Nothing.
So nothing makes you marriageable?
No. I mean, I have no debt, no tattoos. I wish I was a little younger, but yeah. No debt, no tattoos.
No debt, no tattoos?
I mean, I'm a nice person. I can cook. I'd be a good mom.
Yeah. So I would say then.
All right, it says talk to Andrew about it. Here's the thing, guys. Just because I think Andrew Wilson's wrong doesn't. Here's the thing, guys. There's enough room in this space for people like Andrew, right? I think Andrew Wilson does a lot of things, right? Andrew Wilson does it. I'm not religious. If anyone was going to convince me that God is real, it would probably be someone like Andrew. Now, guys, I just can't get behind the whole supernatural thing. I just can't. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see evidence for it, right? I'm not saying there isn't there. I'm just saying I don't get it. But Andrew Wilson is speaking about conservative, old school traditional values and Christianity in a way to young men that they've never heard before. Cora, are you a Christian?
Sorry, no.
Okay, but you know these Christian churches in the last 30 years have had these man bun wearing beta pastors, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? These prosperity gospel Joel Osteen douchebags, right? Andrew Wilson's going against that. I guarantee he's one of the driving forces behind why Gen Z is becoming more conservative. Gen Z men, sorry. You know? So
that's probably what they need, because it's like that old saying about strong times and strong men and weak times and weak men. And
no, RH, I don't think that I'd agree with Andrew if we had debated the two things that we disagree on the most, marriage. No, there's three things: marriage, children, 4 things: marriage, children, single moms, and God. That ain't happening, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that men should marry single moms. You just can't. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah,
guys,
no.
can anyone in this chat be convinced that guys should marry single moms? I want you to put a yes or a no. If you could be convinced by any logical arguments that you should date and marry a single mom. You know what I mean? Yep.
You know, and just for you and the guys in the chat, it is possible to, how do I want to say this, get along with somebody but not see eye to eye on 100% of their views.
Yeah,
because when you do that, you're just
yeah.
in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
But if you can respectfully disagree,
Yes.
you know, so like AJ and me and other guys might say, you know, I just
Yep.
don't think marriage is worth it. And Andrew says, well, I think it is. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's fine.
You know, that's fine. But
That's what I was getting
Yeah.
at. Guys, we cannot be like the tribalistic woke left, where we disagree on one thing and then we disagree with each other. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
because you know, great example, the founding
disqualified.
fathers. Yeah, the founding fathers, they didn't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but like 2 of the people, was it Jefferson and Adams? They argued constantly, but they were the best of friends.
Yep. Guys, this is like, you can like lock the bounty hunter. Taylor the Fiend, all these other red pill guys. I guarantee there's issues that they and I disagree on. But guys, so what? So what? There's room in this space for all of us, right? So, for instance, guys, once again, there are a lot of red pill guys that think that it's wrong to pay for nay, right? They think that if a guy does that, he's a piece of trash. You know what, guys? I'm indifferent to it. Guys, if you feel like that's what you have to do, fine. And I say this because I have a friend of mine who, like I said, he's an actor. He works full time. He works 70 hours a week, and he's an actor. He doesn't have time to go out on dates and smash chicks. So when he gets back, once or twice a week, he hires a professional, comes smash, and leaves. I didn't really get it until I talked to him, until I actually talked to a guy that did it. And he's not a simp. He's a 6'4", no diddy, attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? He's an actor. He's in shape. But he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time to actually get out and date and meet chicks. So he hires professionals because he's busy all the time. So if someone came on this live today and said, AJ, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time with these chicks. I wrap it up and smash. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the moral police when it comes to that, right? But see, other red pill guys might say that I'm wrong for saying that. I'm just saying that the red pill is about choice. It's about choice, informed choice. And ultimately, we have to do what's best for us, right? And guys, once again,
and don't inflict your morality on other people.
Yes. Now, once again, guys, we can disagree. And guys, that's one thing that I hope now that the new generation of Manosphere guys are coming through, Insulet audits, Lock the Bounty Hunter, myself. Guys, this whole disqualifying of each other has to stop. It does, guys. Guys, we don't have to agree on 99.9% of everything. Guys, I like Jordan Peterson, but he says a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Top G, I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, guys, anyone that gets our talking points out there, I don't care who says them, as long as they're getting out there. I don't care, honestly. Guys, there's 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are using our talking points now. As long as the message is getting out there, I don't care. And guys, there are guys out there with the whole fresh and fit thing. A guy has to have 50 bodies. Really? That's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn says that he has a buddy who got married to a single mom. She got mad at him, told her ex-husband, her new husband, was hit with her ex-husband. He beat up my buddy. Damn. So
those are the categories we're looking at, like body count's not even in there, this and that. When we're talking about debt too, how much debt? It's like if you come into a relationship with $10,000 in debt, I don't think men care.
I think the average is $25,000.
That's still not bad.
$20,000 is not bad. Corg, would you pay off some chicks $20,000 in debt?
Nope.
Anyone in the chat? Yes or no? Would you pay off someone's someone's $20,000 in debt? Come on, dude. Shout out from the sky. What's up, dude? He said, "Love the Discord." Yeah, guys, make sure to join the Discord, man.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
There's no way I'm paying off that much debt. No way. Insane.
Honestly, $25,000.
Yeah, but the average guy makes like $40,000 a year.
Yeah, and the average amount of time it takes off to pay off $25,000 of debt if you're hyper focused on it, even if you're making
right. But you could say, but like this isn't a great sell, right? Like that's what I keep asking. Like, what's in it for the guy? Now you're saying, well, you can get a wife, but now you
no. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying these things that you say are very high, like don't do it because it's like, okay, so let me ask you a question. Should I pass on a woman if she's very virtuous and she'll give me 4 children, she's super fertile because she has $20,000 in debt? Should I pass on her?
That's up to you.
Yes. Yes. What are you talking about? And guys, this is where there was a clear divide between us red pill guys and Andrew Wilson. This is where people who were watching this were like, what is going on with Andrew? You know? So, guys, there is like someone tell me how RH, dude, you need $20K in debt for some broad who's gonna leave you, dude. Come, especially student loan debt with that interest. You are a better man than I, man. Straight up.
Yeah, but
I don't.
Right. See,
I don't
that's
say.
what
I don't
mean,
say
right?
shit
That's the thing about the red pill that gets me. It's like.
But you keep switching it. I'm not asking you. I'm saying we gotta. I'm not saying do it or don't do it. I'm saying what's in it for the guy.
And a virtuous woman.
And
the lie detector determined that was a lie.
I'm saying on a balance of probabilities, they can't get that, and you can't prove it.
Can't prove what?
How would you know if a woman's virtuous?
Yeah, but I mean, well, how do you know anything?
See?
He's got those shoes out.
There you go. See? And right here, this is when Andrew Wilson in the red pill space, this is like an explosion going off. Well, how do you know anything? You should just take the risk, right? You should just be a tradcon and just take the risk and roll the dice and hope that broad just doesn't nuke your life just to prove that you can be Captain Save-A-Ho.
Here I come to save the day.
Clown world. How do you know anything? And guys, I like Andrew Wilson. Just in this particular space, in this particular discussion, guys, he doesn't have a pot to piss in. You know what I'm saying?
But you're dodging the question.
Well, I'm not.
Like how? How could you
yeah.
prove that?
Yeah,
like there's
like the same way that you can prove anything.
Women's sex drive starts at like 16, and that's I mean, I'm not even going to go and,
Yeah, but
the average woman loses her virginity at 16. The average age of first marriage is like 28.
So when you're looking
29.
at probabilities, right? This is what your big thing is. Like, let's look at the average and the inks of probability.
No, I just wanted to answer the question, what's in it for the guy? Like not do it despite this.
That's what would be in it for the guy. Would be a virtuous woman that would give them children, be a good mother to them.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
That's what they would be moving towards.
Right. But on average, they're probably not going to get that.
Yeah, there's going to be less of them.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of mitigation strategies. One thing is a mitigation strategy is they get brides from elsewhere. That seems to work out for some.
Oh no. You can't.
So you guys basically get the whole thing. Guys, we'll have to go over this and the follow-up on the live stream, because I did a live stream on this, but yeah, you can see how like that this is just not making sense, right? It's not.
Do that.
No, you don't.
I don't like to travel. Like most guys don't. Like if I had to sell my brothers on move to another country to find a good woman.
Okay, so let me
most
get this.
people don't want to uproot their whole life.
So let me get this right. So then if I were to follow Pearl Davis's like entire viewpoint here, I just want to make sure I get it right. I'll steel man it. I'm going to steel man it.
Go ahead.
There's nothing to steel man here. Because guys, he's arguing with himself. All she said was convince me. What do men get out of marriage? Then he's saying, well, let me steel man your argument. She's like, I'm not making an argument. I'm asking a question. How can you steel man a question? Like he's trying to force her to make an argument. And that's why he's failing. He's trying to debate someone that doesn't believe his proposition. That's where it falls apart.
There's no virtuous women, right? Basically any.
None.
Well, okay. Basically any. There's very few virtuous women.
And
that's
true. You'd agree that's true.
I would agree that there's.
That's true. That's objectively, there's not many.
Yeah, I would agree that it's less than 50%. Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So we're on the same. We agree.
So because of that, men, right, they're not going to be left with the choice of getting virtuous women. So they just kind of fuck whoever.
See, and there it is again. False dichotomy. Either you get made or you're banging 304s. Most guys just want to be left alone or just chilling or just aren't having sex. Guys, the majority of men are not having sex, and the majority of of women are. Which means that the majority of chicks are banging Chad, Tyrone, Nug, and Gavin. That's what you're talking about. So guys are either out here being Chad or they're getting married. That's just not true.
They feel like it because that's what's left to them.
I'm saying that's already what's happening.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm saying if we want
but what should happen though?
Well, I don't say what should happen.
Yeah, but I'm asking you.
I say what is.
Yeah, so
I say I can't.
So what do we do about that though? How's that helpful?
But
and he realizes then he's been arguing with himself this entire time. And this is why, guys, this is not a debate at all. A debate is he has a position, she has a position. She doesn't have a position. And he's finally understanding, well, what do we do? What are you trying to say? She's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just trying to say that you're trying to make a case and it doesn't sound good. I don't have the solutions.
Question is,
it is burning. It's like, well, how do we put it out? But it is burning.
Yeah, but the way you're acting as if I have any control over what the world does. I can't control that. I can't. I didn't make this society. I can't control how the world is. Right?
I get it.
So I just keep asking the question, what's in it for the man?
That would be what would be in it for men.
And I don't but I don't think there are enough virtuous women that's going to be a good selling point, because it can't be verified for one, and probability wise, it's less than 50%.
Well, what's the alternative to it though?
Well, it's already what's happening. It's why men are like bowing out. The sexes are going apart.
They don't seem like they're happier because they're bowing out.
We're happier, right? Right, guys? I think everyone in this chat's pretty happy, right? Right, guys? You know what I mean? So
they seem like they're happier when they find these birds. So let's just say,
I don't know. I've met.
Let me just say,
guys. Anyways, let's go here. This guy has another one here. Hold on, and then we will hold on. Go into one more thing here. Hold on. What's this guy's name? Yeah, guys, make sure to drop a like on the stream. Appreciate that. Here you go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm outside once again, just getting a little bit of fresh air before the weather turns a bit colder and we get some snow over the next few days. And, well, I have to say, my last, actually the video just before last, Marriage is a Scam, which this video will be a follow-up to, took off pretty insanely. I think the last time I checked, it was somewhere near about 70,000 views, almost, 2,500 comments, probably a lot more by now. Massive amount of just support from you guys, and the stories that you told, everything that you've been telling me about your experiences. Oh my gosh, incredible, powerful, moving, and at the same time, very entertaining comment section. I'm glad some of you are not able to meet in person because I'm pretty sure homicides would would ensue. So yeah, it pretty much took off. This channel is only about 2 months old, and it pretty much launched it right into the stratosphere. So thank you to everybody that's supportive, especially thank you to everybody that seems to hate those that are supportive, and I guess don't like me for whatever reason, which is totally fine. I mean, everybody's free to have their opinion, but I want to thank you especially. You did help us get over the top. We are doing really well with the channel now, so you're cynical about that. We got a little advice. Don't even go looking it up on your own. Maybe I would recommend, honestly, contacting a divorce attorney or a family law attorney and having them spell out for you exactly what the climate is like out there so that you get the same story that I got. Because my experience brought me in contact with an attorney that gave me the lay of the land and explained everything to me, but also multiple other attorneys across the years that have just really explained it very well to me, that exactly how the system is flawed and how damaged it is. And it isn't just a one-off incident. This has been happening across the board all over the place. I mean, many people having this experience, especially if you were the one paying into the system rather than the person receiving. This is not an attempt to in any way condemn anybody. I did have a few people, chime in and say, well, what about I had a guy that was a baby daddy with multiple different women, and he's a deadbeat and he doesn't pay child support. That really doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like spousal support, alimony. In cases where that sort of thing is happening, obviously, if you get them involved in the legal system, they're going to pay the price, and that's pretty much who the legal system should be going after. Guys that are running around popping out babies with lots of different women and not paying their child support, sure, they should be in trouble.
Guys, they should penalize the chicks. If all these chicks are getting pregnant by friggin' Gavin and Nug, that's their own fault, right? Right, guys? Any punishment that they give to these dads, they should put 10 times worse. Guys, hey, Corey, the whole Elon Musk thing where he's having all these babies all over, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
And they just keep blaming. Yeah, but hold on. Why is everyone rolling their eyes at him?
No. I get it. Yeah.
There's what? One irresponsible guy and how many baby moms?
11?
Does he have 11, 12? And 11, 12 irresponsible chicks. At least they got pregnant by a rich guy. Nick Cannon has like 12 baby moms and like 14 kids, and you can't remember all their names?
Yeah. Look at Charles Manson and how many women used to write him letters and they wanted to have his baby.
Yep.
It's
Yep. I don't know, guys, whoever you pray to or whoever you think brought us here, put the power of birthing and nurturing children into the hands of the most irresponsible bunch of dunderheads. You know what I'm saying? Insane.
But to clarify even more so, a lot of people were concerned, are you just saying overall that marriage is a bad thing? And my answer to that is absolutely not. No, I don't think marriage is a bad thing. Marriage is actually a great thing. It's an amazing thing. In Western society is not an amazing thing. And especially with the way our legal system and our society has shifted everything to favor people that are misusing the system. And this is very, very true. If you ask, just take a look through the comments of the last video. There are so many horror stories there that are so much worse than anything I've been through. I was just floored. I mean,
there's guys. There's a reason why a lot of guys choose a lead lunch after divorce. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Of everything that other people have been through, and wow, it's just stunning to me.
RH marriage did used to mean this, though. You know, you guys look in the 1850s and 60s and 70s and the 1910s, where guys, chastity was actually a virtue. We had shame, we had religious and societal norms that would make people whatever. Guys were okay with waiting until marriage to get some and banging one chick of your entire life, right? Women thought that was patriarchy, and they walked away from the social contract. Here's the thing, guys. Men have never walked away from the table until now. Because here's the thing, guys. These women want men, okay, they want to walk away from the table. They want men to wait there. Well, they spend their 20s letting Chad, Tyrone, Gerardo shoot up the club. Then they want to walk back to the table in their 30s and expect us to still be waiting there for them. No. The one thing that women don't want to happen is for men to walk away from the table. Guys, society is cooked. It's cooked. If society starts ringing the bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and men stop answering, they're cooked. Guys, Korg, I don't know if you remember the video that I did like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. White guys are not joining the military anymore.
I didn't see the video, but I did see that statistic.
Dude, we're at the lowest white male enlistment rate in the history of the United States. If white dudes stop joining the military, we are cooked. Cooked. Who's going to defend the country, guys? Feminists? Please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Not going to happen, guys. Not going to happen. So, where are we?
I'm thinking about several of them that I read right now, and I might even, if with their permission, would probably directly reference some of them in some upcoming videos, because it's not about condemning or shaming so much as warning people and helping them to learn and educate themselves on what they should do before they go diving into a super serious relationship or living with somebody or getting married. Make sure you know who you're dealing with, vet them very well. And this is for men and women. This isn't just towards men, but this is, you need to make sure you're vetting that person. Make sure you know exactly what it is that they're after, and spend a lot of time getting to know them rather than diving into a situation where you're married and you both end up in a world of hurt, but also making sure that legally you are very, very careful about it all. Somehow I guess that does bother some people, just to reference those that got very upset by it. But I mean, it's just the truth, and I have to put it out there that way. I'm not going to shy away from that just because somebody gets mad at me over it. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, well, there's a few other points too. A few people were upset about the title. Marriage is a scam. You shouldn't put that.
And of course, they were all chicks, right? Guys, they were either chicks
or simps.
Or trad cons or simps, yep.
How dare you?
Come on.
If you don't feel that completely and in every total way, marriage is a scam. But hence, that's the reason why there's a video attached to that. And you have to watch the video and really, kind of suspend your emotions, hold them in check, and just listen to what's being said in the video and maybe read some of the comments to really grasp it. I was somewhat no, that's not true. I'm not shocked at all. I mean, this is YouTube. This is on the internet. People are going to respond how they respond and treat it the way they want to. But asking about the title, for instance. Well, I can't really put into a title, marriage is a scam, because people are being incentivized to abandon their marriages and or step outside of them, get involved in affairs and other things that are damaging everyone's life around them. And also people are being encouraged during the divorce process to commit fraud and perjury, of which they're never going to be.
You guys listen, like you can tell still that he's an even killed guy, but you can tell, guys, he's still wronged is the word. You know what I'm saying? Guys do not like being wronged. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like a betrayal of like everything that you thought the system was fair. You thought all these things, like he could just tell like he'd been lied to his entire life, guys. This is the guy like post red pill, you know? Beta Bucks, what's up, man? Thanks for the $9.99, man. Appreciate that, my friend. Thanks so much.
You are scaring the hoes.
Getting in trouble for. How do I put all that into a title? I can't really. So when you watch the video,
yeah. RH says that he's banging single moms. Hey, RH, just don't give him your real name, and then go to their house, and after you've done the dude, just hit him with my patented.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Becomes abundantly clear. I'm talking about Western marriage and what the society and the legal system has done to it, and not generally marriage overall. Absolutely, I encourage people to be loving and trusting in a marriage situation and not misuse it and not commit fraud and perjury.
Hey, Korg, doesn't this guy with his hair, he looks like he's kind of stuck in like 2003 to 2004, right? This is that 2004 kind of spiky hair look with the sideburns. All he needs is a soul patch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's that lead singer to Train hairdo going on. You know what I'm saying?
And not otherwise just screw people's lives up. So,
guys, here we go. We'll look at this. This guy says, sharing my horror story. Let me paint you a picture. He says, I presently physically, because I'm on a work trip, far away mentally in my own private hell. My first wife asked for a divorce in August. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I begged and pleaded and guilt-tripped her. She agreed to 2 quote-unquote trial separations, which lasted about a week before she told me that it was out of guilt that she wanted a divorce. In early January, she filed for a contested divorce. I asked for mediation and just accepted service last week, blah, blah, blah. So we had a long legal process, including custody over our 3 young boys. She cheated on me last March. Look at that. Look at that. We had agreed to let a house guest stay with us who was down on his luck and had nowhere else to stay. Okay, look at that. While I was on the road for work, they banged in our own house. I found out through reading her email. So that same email just goes that she had strayed an additional time back in 2015 before we had our first son. You need to check and see if that kid is yours. I'm currently still living in a family home. She's all over the dating apps. She's staying out overnight, hooking up with random guys while I make pizza to put my kids to sleep. I know I can't control her. I know that I have to move out, but this is really hard. No sooner has the ink dried on the divorce summons, and she's out having flings and enjoying her new freedom while I sit home traumatized in a complete state of shock and denial. I cannot believe this is my life. I flash back to the birth of my 3 sons, to my wedding, to memories throughout the years. I thought my life was set. I was married. I had kids. I had quote unquote made it. The end. Never in a million years as I think that I'd be starting over at age 42 and living in an apartment by myself like back in my 20s. Except this time I have the added responsibility of co-parenting with this woman who will be in my life until the day I die. Not only that, but after she's done having flames, she will ultimately settle for a guy who'll be living in my house and raising my kids. Look at that. Anyone? Right? Anyone want to, excuse this? Right?
I think a lot of guys should advocate their lawyer push to have the house sold.
Yeah.
None of this. She gets the house. No, sell it and get the equity. And here you go. Here's your $5,000, honey.
Yep, that's true. Yep. Someone says it gets better. You have to learn to love yourself. Take a year off to heal. I hope and pray that these statements are true, and that at some future date I will be happy again, and I'll look back on this as a very difficult time, but one that made me stronger. Right now, that's impossible to believe, impossible to see, and impossible to internalize. I've gone on a few dates, and I feel totally empty. I'm too depressed to carry on a conversation so the women can sense it. I'm not confident. I'm not happy with my life. I'm totally stalled while my wife is out having overnight flings without a care in the world. She doesn't care about any impact on me, and I can only hope that karma catches up with her someday. So here I am, guys, broken, depressed, anxious, sad, lonely, despairing. And in 15 minutes, I have to go down to the hotel lobby and put on a mask for my colleagues, pretend it's all good, and have a work dinner. Wow. Guys, what do you think? What do you think, huh? Look at that, man. Look at that. Oh, here you go. This guy says, I'm giving up. Married for 10 years. I, male 34, have been married to my wife for 10 years. We have a child. Life has its ups and downs, but lately I've been mostly rethinking the purpose of this relationship. I've always felt like I'm my wife's caretaker rather than her husband. Eek. While being a giver for our entire relationship made me feel good about myself, I'm lately starting to realize I'm not getting much in return. Damn. Look at, I deal with all of the upsets that impact our life on my own. When I tell her that it doesn't seem to bother her, I don't bother bringing anything up because I'm thinking that what I do gain by doing so. Sex has also went downhill, and her sex drive has always been much less than mine. Wow. Look at that. So he's trying to say, am I harming myself by staying in this relationship? I've brought up divorce. She cries and assures me she loves me. I'm tired of going through this over and over and over again. Am I wasting time? This guy says the same thing. Wow. You know? Once again, this is what Andrew Wilson couldn't answer. Right? Why any guy would choose this? Why the majority of guys would choose this? You know? Absolutely insane. Corey, anything else about divorce?
Yeah, one of the things to be careful of is when she says we need to go to therapy.
Yeah, cooked.
Well, but see, if the therapist starts narrowing in on her, she all of a sudden decides that it's not such a good idea.
Yeah. Yep.
But also, like what happened to me, she conned me into that game, and then this therapist said I needed to be put on antidepressants. And
what?
I wouldn't do it. Yep.
Man, that's crazy.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you made it through a divorce, okay, man. You know what I'm saying?
It was a little rough, but I've been laughing ever since, and I've just been thanking my lucky stars that it didn't last any longer than it did. But
how is she doing now? You know,
I don't care.
no, but you are living better than her, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's all that matters, guys.
That's all that matters.
If you want to do better and anytime breakup, guys, the breakup game. If you want to win the breakup game, guys, live better. Live better. And guys, I can tell you this much though: if you are getting divorced, if you're co-parenting, don't put your business on the internet.
Exactly.
How many times, guys, have we seen chicks? I don't care about what my ex-husband's doing until all of a sudden you have a hot little 25-year-old, right?
Yep.
Then all of a sudden you can't see your kids and blah 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 blah. So, oh yeah, Matt H is right. She'll always want a female therapist too. Facts. Chris Mike, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Guys, we'll switch gears here. And we will do after hours in the Discord, guys. So guys, go to the Discord once the live ends and go to after hours, all right? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do there.
That's the sound of the police.
There we go.
Can you sign
And we're gonna need the race card.
body cam? Is your
What's
body
up?
cam even on?
What's
Do you guys'
turn?
body cam on? Are you guys' body cam on?
Yes.
They wouldn't even answer me if their body cam was on.
Yeah, the camera was on and we helped you get the footage. You're welcome. On December 2nd, 2023, an officer with Tampa Police Department was on patrol when he observed a car traveling 16 miles per hour over the posted speed limit.
Ohio, Tampa, Florida.
Just one. Florida, Nebraska, and Mitchell.
10-4.
Hi, I'm Officer Tampa Police Department. The reason I'm stopping you is because we were coming down Nebraska. You're going 50 miles an hour. So it was 30 right there. Do you have your driver's license?
I do.
Awesome. Is this your car?
It is.
You have the I'm sorry?
It's under my mom's name, but yeah, it's my car.
Gotcha. You have the registration insurance on that?
Mm-hmm.
You still live in Temple Terrace?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you guys coming from?
From my house.
Coming from what?
My house, Temple Terrace.
Oh, you coming from Temple Terrace?
Yeah.
Where you guys headed?
I'm dropping my friend off to work.
Oh, okay.
But there was a registration. It's my mom's name.
That's registration?
No, this is the registration. Okay. She has like two cars. Okay, yeah. My
yeah.
car's
You need the insurance?
How many papers? Do you have the app on your phone?
It's okay. What?
No, I don't have the app.
What insurance company
it's
is
in
it?
there. It's in there.
You know what company it is?
I don't.
It's okay. I'll try and look it up. Give me 1 second. You're welcome. There you go. Okay. Well, real quick, just so I'm not staying in the middle of the road, how about let me just talk to you over here on the side real quick?
You want me to turn around or
No. Just hop on out.
Dude, she is drunk. Look at that. Fine,
Yep.
let's go through the test and see how she does.
You have any injuries or disabilities? No. Okay. All right. You see the tip of my pen? What color is it?
Red.
So what I want you to do is I'm gonna move it back and forth several times. I want
There it
you to
is.
follow it with your eyes without moving your head. Okay.
They're always cold or their feet hurt.
But that's because they're dressed like 304s and it's 3 o'clock in the morning in December. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but aren't they in Ohio, Florida? Doesn't get that cold.
It's not warm, you know. What? Look. They're 304s. They don't make any sense. They don't.
True. Yeah.
They don't obey the laws of physics. They don't even believe in the laws of physics half the time. She's cooked, guys. Cooked. They're just swaying back and forth.
All right, if you get back in the car, you're gonna go to jail. Close your door.
Izzy, it's okay. Like, I just want to go home. Like, so where's everything? Sorry.
Now, guys, so for all you guys who aren't black, right? Guys, there's this weird thing where like light-skinned girls hang out with like dark-skinned girls, and then the dark-skinned girls all insecure because she thinks that the light-skinned girl is better looking than her, right? And the light-skinned girl hangs out with the dark-skinned girl because the light-skinned girl always can feel like she's better looking than her dark-skinned friend because she thinks the dark-skinned girl is uglier than her, right? But then the light-skinned girl feels like she's being judged because she's light-skinned and people don't think she's black, so they have to lean into the whole black stereotype or pro-black, and I'm black and you black, but black. So it's just a mess. You know what I'm saying?
That is not okay.
Izzy, it's okay.
You're okay.
I'm sorry.
Hi.
Shut up!
Close the door, or you were going to.
Just listen to them. Like,
no, close the door now.
What are you doing?
If I walk over there, you're going to go in handcuffs and be arrested.
What are you doing?
This has nothing to do with you. You're detained for a traffic stop.
Sir.
Close the door.
I understand we're detained for a traffic stop.
Close the door.
Guys, they just won't shut up, guys. Isn't it crazy? All she has to do is mind her damn business. You know what I'm saying?
You're interfering with an investigation. Close the door.
Sir, can I ask what we're being?
No, I'm going to arrest you if I walk over there. Close the door.
I am staying in the vehicle.
That's fine. Close the door.
Anything. So I'm trying to ask you right now, what are you doing?
You're going to go to jail. Is that what you want?
For what?
Because look at how
obstruction. You're interfering with an investigation.
Unbothered and not surprised her friend is. This girl on the left knows that this knucklehead in the car acts this way all the time.
Close the door.
What is the investigation about?
Close the door right now.
Sir, I am trying to understand.
Sir,
what do you want me to close the door for? I am in the vehicle. I am
let me finish this real quick.
She said she's trying to understand. He could explain it to her 3 times and she still wouldn't understand.
Yeah, seriously. Right?
I ain't gonna count to 3. I'm not even gonna count to 1. You will shut the fuck up or I'll sing you a lullaby.
Can you please tell me what you guys are doing?
Shut up!
Sir. Mr. Police Officer. Sir.
Are you done?
I'm not done because
Okay,
no, I'm just trying.
Okay. All right, the next exercise we do is a walking turn. Do me a favor, hang on right here.
Can I ask a question?
Hang on. You're being, okay, hang on right here. All right, step out of the car.
No,
Let's
sir.
go.
Step out of the car.
Let's go. Let's
Step out of the
go.
car.
I'm just trying to understand.
Step out of the car.
Sir, I'm trying to see what's going on.
Put your hands behind your back.
Let's go. Let's go.
Put your hands behind your back. No, you're being fine. Just show up.
What did I do?
Stop.
What did I do?
Obstruction.
You're not listening.
No, I'm just trying to understand what's going on because you guys,
Face the car.
you're literally pointing that red light at her for like a whole like
Has nothing to do with
30
you.
minutes.
Face the door.
I'm trying to be cooperative. I
No, you're not.
stayed in my vehicle. I'm just asking.
I told you
what
to close
is
the door
going
10 times. Come right this way. Come on.
Okay. Can you please
Oh.
like pause my phone and then put it back in the car?
No.
Not only that, like I really.
Walk.
Like I understand
Walk.
this is your investigation.
Walk or I'm going to make you.
What is the investigation?
682. I'm going to be 1015. One time with a passenger.
Can I pull my skirt
Walk.
down? Okay, can I please pull my skirt down?
Pull down while you're walking.
I'm trying.
You're in the middle of the
still
street.
pulling me. Okay, then I need to pull the front too.
Don't face me.
Can you turn on your body cam? Sir, what is your badge number? Ow! What is your badge number?
107.
Bro, why are you manhandling me like that?
107.
You won't shut
What
up.
is your badge
I gave
number?
it to you twice now. Have a seat.
107?
Yep.
Okay, can I pull my skirt down?
Yes,
my
have a
skirt is
seat.
up.
Hey, You're okay. She's gonna have a seat.
I'm just gonna pour her skirt down.
Pour her skirt down.
Seriously. It's
Here,
fine.
here, here.
Okay, I'm getting in the car. Please let me go.
All right,
I'm
have a
getting
seat.
in the car. Is your body cam even on?
You'll be okay.
She's fine. What is your badge number, sir?
Come here, just go to the sidewalk. You're okay.
959, and yours is 107.
Oh, this chick's half black and half maybe Korean. I think she's like half black and half Korean. Maybe. Yeah, she's like half black and half.
Is you guys okay? Is you guys' body cam on? Are you guys' body cam on?
Yes.
Why haven't you responded yet? What the fuck?
You're under arrest.
For what?
Obstruction.
Obstruction of what, sir?
Yes, the car door.
Are you?
Look at
That's my best friend, bro. It's her birthday. Are you serious right now?
Right now? Wow! Oh my God!
I was just gonna call that out. Okay, birthday. No, why?
You guys remember when The Rock he's making fun of Triple H? Tonight, I'm the game. And I'm gonna be talking and saying absolutely nothing. Oh man!
Show you why line I just put down. So that's what we're
Hey, Scozy, Steve, all you white dudes in the chat, man. All these B-dubs are all swirlers, man. They want all you white dudes, man. They're guys, they're all yours.
gonna use, okay?
I bet she slips those cuffs.
I always ruins everyone's birthday.
All right, well, if you don't have any questions and you understand all the instructions, you can begin whenever you're ready. Hands by your side, touching your thighs. Okay, so the next exercise you do, it's a one-leg stand. All right. If you don't have any questions and you understand all the instructions, you begin whenever you're ready. Looking down at your foot. Looking down at your foot.
Are we gonna get 2 for 1?
I don't think so. Okay, you can stop. So with your feet together, then your hands by your side still. So facing that way. So real quick, I'll kind of explain what's going on.
Make a dime and find your bag.
I don't think so.
2 for 1 deal. Let's go.
It's time.
I have an extra.
There you go.
Okay, so you are being placed on us for DUI, okay?
Can you get some pants in my trunk?
Well, so when you get to jail, they're going to change you out anyway. Come right over here for me.
They have an orange suit.
You have anything in the car you need, like your phone, the wallet? Okay. So whenever we do get to the jail, I'm going to ask you to provide a sample of your breath. Is that something you're willing to do? All right, so basically, if you don't, your license gets suspended for a year. It'll be used against you in court. But I'll do something once we get down there, okay?
Officer,
Scoot over.
you have no right to search your vehicle right now.
Shut up, guys. If these 304s spent all this as much effort making the world a better place as they do blabbing their damn mouths, guys, they could cure cancer. Seriously, if B-dubs were to take all the effort that they spend causing chaos and talking mess and having bastard kids and put that towards science and research, guys, we'd have a colony on Mars by now.
Sir, no, you don't have a warrant to search my
my car. You don't have a warrant to
Get back in the car.
Wait, no, sir.
Hey.
You have no right to search her car, officer. I want you supervising her right now. You have no right to search
You don't have the right to search my.
You have...
So I actually
No,
do have
I
to
don't.
search your car. Okay. Whenever you're arrested.
Okay, if I'm arrested, you read me my Miranda rights.
No,
you don't search my car for no reason.
I'm searching your car.
But you say my Miranda rights. You don't just search my car for no reason.
So, listen,
yes, you do.
listen.
If I'm under arrest, no matter what, you say you have the right to remain silent.
How many years
you
have
didn't say that.
Yeah, you didn't even read our Miranda rights.
Shut
You did
up.
not read our Miranda rights. You did not even told us we were being detained for. You did not read our Miranda rights. You did not read my Miranda rights, and you didn't either.
I don't need to be a police officer to know my rights. I'm a college student.
Cool, sure.
So you can stop gripping me, and you don't need to be aggressive with my friend, and you don't need to search my car.
Okay, your car
and I know the law.
It's gonna be
so
searched.
you don't have to do that.
It's gonna be
Oh
searched.
God, she knows
Okay,
the
it's
law.
called inventory search.
Okay, then you can state that, but you don't have to be aggressive with me because I wasn't aggressive with you.
I am,
and you don't have to grip my arm like that.
And not only that, my phone is on top of the car. You did not tell us what to get out the car for.
Come over.
Respectfully,
I keep telling you to do
because I
stuff.
heard, because
Stop talking.
I didn't follow the rules or no?
Come over here.
You said
You're
everything
both
I needed
not
to
following the
do.
rules.
I wasn't following the rules.
Other side of the car.
Can you get my phone, please?
Yeah. Have a seat.
Miranda rights. Officer, you did not read my Miranda rights. Not only that, my phone is on top of the car. Please get my phone on top of the car. Is your body camera on?
It's like someone hits the pause button, and then right when the door opens, just hits the play button again, and she won't shut up.
Oh.
She's asked about the camera, I think 7 times.
Officer,
is
your body camera on?
Yes.
Here we go. Take a drink
my
every
phone
time
is
she
on
says
top of
that.
the car, sir.
Sit forward.
Say again?
Take a drink every time she asks about the body cam.
About the body cam, yeah.
Sit forward.
Officer, my phone is on top of the car.
Okay.
Please don't drive off without my phone on top of the car. You put it
Sit
on top
back.
of the car, sir.
Sit back.
I understand. Please listen to me. Please.
Sit back.
I understand that.
Trust me, Izzy.
You know, it's bad when this thunderhead on the left is a voice of reason.
I know it.
Can you please sit back?
I am. Not only that, officer, like, why are y'all searching your car?
So it's
What
called an
gives you the
inventory
right-
search because we have to tow it so it gets searched.
No,
Yes.
Ah,
Put your
close
legs
the
up.
door!
Put my phone on top of the car.
I'm going to.
I have a lot of memories
Okay, I'm gonna
with
go to
my-
your phone.
With my baby brother.
Thank you. Shit.
Oh my. Whew.
Bro, he better put
You're
the.
talking too much.
I don't give a. They're not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to search your car.
I know I said something, but stop.
I don't care. They're not.
Izzy, listen to me.
Is their
Stop.
body cam even
Izzy,
on?
listen to me. Izzy, listen to me.
Told you.
There she is again, guys. Guys, this is going on Greatest Hits, man. And guys, this Friday's 50304s will be Greatest Hits, guys. I know we didn't do it during June, but we'll do it in July.
Izzy, listen to me. Izzy, listen.
Why did they tell you?
Izzy, listen to me. Shut up. Listen to me. You're giving away too much information. You need to be quiet. We're in handcuffs. We're being arrested. You need to say as little as possible. Stop talking. Stop.
Okay. All I'm saying is.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep saying what the they're doing.
I understand. I said, okay, searching the car, yes.
Hey guys, this is why we are always going to win. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you've been in a situation with your friends, either in high school, middle school, college, and you guys are everyone to shut up. And the cops are like, you boys ain't gonna give us any more info. I don't know what you're talking about, officer. I don't know anything. You don't know anything. We don't know anything. And it got you out of it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Guys, keep your mouth shut. That's what us guys do, you know?
Nothing more than that.
Talk yourself into jail. She was coming from home. Yeah. And she was just dropping her friend off from work. That's why I said, what'd you do for dinner?
Guys, is that a bunch of ones? I wonder how she got all those ones. Could it be from work?
Makes you wonder.
You saw how it took them a while to arrest me?
I know.
Exactly. Because I had the cameras rolling. See, that camera has been rolling since it's been on the top of your car. That's why I said, don't leave my fucking phone on top of the car. Are you detaining us, sir?
No, you're under.
Are you detaining us, sir?
You're under arrest.
We're both under arrest.
We're both under arrest. Can you tell us why we're under arrest?
Her for DUI and you for resisting, obstructing, and opposing.
But officer, I was just
62.
okay.
You can't talk yourself out of this.
Officer, I just want you to know you did this on her birthday.
Yeah.
So I hope you feel really
guys. Whose idea do you think that it was to go out on her birthday and then let her on her birthday and then let her drive? Had to be there. This was my idea, huh? Say again?
I said that's a toughie.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Anonymous, thanks for the $2, man. Appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want my medication and I want my croutons, please.
What about yourself?
I didn't give her liquor and throw her some keys.
I guys be back here together, but this is like, bro.
Because you know it's your fault.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to rub your butt. No, I just love you and like this.
Yeah, right. Making things worse. Stupid.
Do you want to do the breath test? Oh no, yeah, you can get an attorney. Yeah, for sure.
Are we being arrested?
Yes. You're under
Okay,
arrest.
why haven't we been arrested?
Because I only do that if I'm going to interrogate you.
You were interrogating her. That's why you just arrested me when you said it was.
Okay.
Remember, you said it was.
Now you're lawyers.
So you don't have the right to contact an attorney for the breath test.
It doesn't have
Basically.
whatever breath test or not. Like I'm just asking.
Oh no, yeah, you can get an attorney. Yeah, for sure.
Months after this,
I'm just asking. If I
Okay.
can get an attorney or not.
Am I able to talk?
Not for the breath test, no, but afterwards.
No,
yes.
but I'm talking. You
No,
just
she said afterwards. It's okay.
Yes, of course you can get an
was your
attorney.
body cam on?
Well,
Isabella was charged with resisting or obstructing an officer. The sentencing documents are currently sealed or marked confidential, but it appears that she entered a misdemeanor intervention program. A few months after this incident, she was arrested for domestic violence. Amzi was.
Oh, look at that!
Wow. Not surprised.
Yeah.
Charged with driving under the influence, and her case remains ongoing. If you like this video and want to see more like it, subscribe to Arrest Cam. As always.
Damn. All right, you guys, I'm gonna shut this bad boy down. Guys, divorce. It's a son of a bitch, dude. You know, choose wisely. But all right, you guys, I'll be in the Discord. Anonymous, how you doing? Neon, how's it going? Guys, go to the Discord and go to After Hours. You know what I'm saying? Let me drop the link to there. Copy to the Discord, because I will meet you guys there. And Thomas Brown, man, thanks for being a member for a month, man. Appreciate that, man. Awesome. Thanks, man. All right, guys. Get easy. Thanks, Cork. Take it easy, buddy.
Have a good evening.